السلام عليكم.
وعليكم
السلام
السلام
عليكم
ورحمة
ورحمة
الله.
الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Okay. So we had to
Can
restart
you
the
guys
live.
hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
We had to restart the live because it was bugging, like lagging or something. So if everybody could share it now that it's restarted, and we'll start like at like. How many viewers do you want to start at?
Like it up, share it. 60. I mean, you could do a 70. 70.
Yeah, so everybody share it, yeah, so we can get everybody in here.
Yeah. Got 57 people in here. Should be at like 10K likes, inshallah. Day 2.
Yeah, day 2.
Nice.
So what's gonna be the day 2 today, inshallah?
Everybody find out. So,
Inshallah.
alright, I mean, we could
يا
start.
حبيبي ابن أبي صعيب بن أخي.
Habibi, alhamdulillah, I'm big good, bro. How are you?
الحمد لله
Everything good?
I'm good. والله حبيبي الحمد لله.
Yeah. What's it called? For anyone who missed yesterday, inshallah, the full live will be posted on YouTube, so you guys could just rewatch it. So yeah. Muhammad, you want to start right now?
How many people do we have in here?
45, 43.
Yeah, we can start. It's okay.
Okay. Alright, bismillah. So this inshallah will be day 2 of the Muharram series. And today we're going to be talking about 2 different topics and they're interconnected, right? So the first thing is we'll start off by showing the narrations. We'll show the authentication and we'll just go through these arguments so you guys could benefit, inshallah. So inshallah, I'll start off. If the host can make my screen bigger. Okay, bismillah. So, alright. So this is Kitab al-Kafi, right? One of the 4 main books of the Shias, the most authoritative book for the Shias, by Muhammad ibn Yaqub al-Kulayni, right? This is the volume 1, page 702, okay? So he narrates with his authentic chain, which we'll get to after. He says, it's a long narration until the Prophet ﷺ says, فَقَالَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم يَا عَلِي أخذت وصيتي وعرفتها وضمنت لله ولي الوفاء بما فيها. So he said to Ali ibn Abi Talib, I have gave you a covenant. Will you take it and you will take it and uphold it for Allah and His Messenger? فقال علي عليه السلام نعم بأبي أنت وأمي علي ضامنها وعلى الله عوني وتوفيقي على أدائها. So he says, of course, may my father and my mother be a ransom for you. I will uphold it and I will take it. Okay? So this covenant, which the Prophet ﷺ is about to give Ali ibn Abi Talib, he will follow it and he will uphold it. Okay? Now let's see what this covenant is. Right? So he says, قال أمير المؤمنين فصعقت حين فهمت الكلمة من الأمين جبرائيل عليه السلام حتى سقط على وجهي. So Jibreel عليه السلام came with this covenant to the Prophet ﷺ and he said it to Ali ibn Abi Talib. What is it? He says وقلت نعم قبلت ورضيت وإن انتهكت الحرمة وعطلت السنن ومزق الكتاب وهدمت الكعبة وخضبت لحيتي من رأسي بدم عبيط صابرا محتسبا أبدا حتى أقدم عليك. So he says, yes, I will uphold this covenant, which is that I will be patient even if my rights were to be taken, even if my honor were to be violated, even if the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ were to be stopped, even if the book, meaning the Quran, was to be ripped apart, even if the Kaaba was to be destroyed, even if my beard is dripping from blood from how much I was tortured, I will still stay persistent and I'll stay patient until I reach you at the pond. Okay? He says, ثم دعا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فاطمة والحسن والحسين وأعلمهم مثل ما أعلم أمير المؤمنين. So then the Prophet brought Fatima, Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein and he told them the same covenants. فقالوا مثل قوله. So they said the same thing like Ali ibn Abi Talib. They said we will accept it and we will uphold it. Meaning that the Prophet told Al-Hussein as well that he will be patient even if the honor were to be violated, even if the sunnah were to be stopped, even if the Quran were to be ripped apart, even if the Kaaba were to be destroyed, even if his beard was dripping from blood from how much he was being tortured, he was still what? Stay patient. So he says, فختمت الوصية بخواتم من ذهب لم تمسها النار ودفعت إلى أمير المؤمنين. Okay? So this narration is very clear. This covenant that was given to Ali ibn Abi Talib, Fatima, Hassan, and Hussein, they accepted this covenant of being patient, even if every single thing, like the Kaaba being destroyed, the Quran being ripped apart, their honor being violated, them being tortured, they will still remain patient. Okay? Now, is this narration authentic? Let's see. So, this is مرآة العقول في شرح أخبار آل الرسول by العلامة محمد باقر المجلسي. Okay? He says, on this narration, which is narration number 4, he says, الحديث الرابع ضعيف على المشهور لكنه معتبر. He says, the majority say that it's weak, however, it is reliable. لكنه معتبر. Okay? Now, let's see what he says on the bottom, because this narration is very dangerous. The Shias normally use it to say, oh, this is why Ali ibn Abi Talib didn't stop Umar from what he did to Fatima radiallahu anha, etc. Right? But this narration actually harms them more than it helps them. And even Al-Majlisi himself admits this. So look what he says. He says, وَلَعَلَّ الْإِطِّرَاقِ لا فائدة أن ما يذكر في الجواب صعب مستصعب لا يذعن به إلا الخواص من الشيعة فيجب صونه عن غيرهم ما أمكن. Allah. He says, this narration is very problematic, and that this narration should only be mentioned to the closest and the most pious and righteous Shia. Otherwise, we should hide it and we should make it like we shouldn't show it to the layman at all. And we have to hide it in every way possible. Okay? Now, I think some people might know where this is going. So the Prophet's here. In this narration says to Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein, and they all accepted that they were to be patient, even if the Quran were to be ripped apart, the Kaaba to be destroyed, their honor to be violated, and for what? For them to stay patient, even if they were tortured. Okay? Now the question is, did Al-Hussein uphold this covenant which he accepted from the Prophet, which is to remain patient even if all these things were to happen? Or did he go against Yazid and go and fight him and didn't remain patient like the Prophet told him?
This is according to the Shia. We're not.
This is according to the Shia. This is all Shia narrations. We don't buy these narrations for $1. And these mean nothing to us. So according to the Shias, did Al-Hussein ibn Ali uphold this covenant which he accepted from the Prophet to remain patient even if the Kaaba were to be destroyed and even if the Quran were to be ripped apart? Now these things didn't even happen, let alone the minor things which Al-Hussein went out for, according to the Shias.
Yeah. So the thing is, these narrations, they're also mentioned they're mentioned in a very famous book that even your typical Shia layman knows about. And it's a book by Al-Musawi al-Shirazi, Layali Bishawr, by Sayyid Muhammad al-Musawi al-Shirazi. And he says in his page 1132, so 1132nd page, he says, As-Sahifa as-Samawiyya. Something which is divine. He's going to mention something which is divine, because Ibn Uwais showed the narration from Kitab al-Kafi that this wasiyah came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent it to Jibreel, and then Jibreel gave it to the Prophet, and then the Prophet gave it to Ali ibn Abi Talib, Fatima, Hassan, and Hussein. He says, وَلَقَدْ وَرَدَ فِي رِوَايَاتِ أَهْلِ الْبَيْتِ خَبَرٌ صَحِيفًا نزلت على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, that this came down to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم قبل وفاته, before his death. فأعطاها لعلي بن أبي طالب. So he mentions that he gave it to Ali ibn Abi Talib. وفيها علوم كثيرة, and it has a lot of يعني points that Ali ibn Abi Talib was told about. مما يجري في العالم ولا سيما ما يجري عليهم وما يجب عليهم من مقابلة الأحداث والوقائع. ولقد أوصاهم الله سبحانه فيها بوصية مهمة, or بوصايا مهمة. So he says that this came down from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it tells Fatima, Ali, Hassan and Hussein from the Prophet, from Allah, about many things that are going to happen in the future in the world, and including what's going to happen to them specifically, and how they have to accept this, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to tell them very important things. So he goes on, he continues in the next page, one page down, he said, فَقَالَ أَمِيرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. So once the Prophet told him all this stuff, the Kaaba is going to be destroyed, and the Sahaba are going to rip up the Quran, right? The Sunnah are going to not be upheld. Ali ibn Abi Talib says, فَقَالَ أَمِيرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ قَبِلْتُ وَرَضِيتُ. I accept, right? And I will stay quiet. وَإِنْ انْتُهِكَتِ الْحُرْمَةِ. And even if the hurma is broken. وَعُطِّلَتُ السُّنَنِ. And the sunan are not compiled, or they're not upheld. وَمُزِّقَ الْكِتَابِ. And the kitab is distorted. Yani the Quran is distorted. وَهُدِمَتِ الْكَعْبَةِ. And the Kaaba is destroyed. وَخُضِّبَتْ لِحْيَتِي مِنْ دَمِّ رَأْسِي صَابِرًا مُحْتَسِبًا. He says, and even if my lihya, my beard is filled with my blood, and it's pulled off of me, I will sit and I will be patient. فأشهد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم جبرائيل وميكائيل والملائكة المقربين على أمير المؤمنين. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Jibreel, the Prophet told Jibreel and Mikael and the Malaika, the other angels that were around Ali ibn Abi Talib. ثم دعا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فاطمة والحسن والحسين فأعلمهم من الأمر مثل ما أعلمه أمير المؤمنين وشرح لهم ما شرح له فقالوا مثل قوله. Okay, so now the Prophet, after telling Ali ibn Abi Talib, he said, come my grandson Al-Hasan, Al-Hussein, and my daughter, okay, Fatima, and I'm going to tell you the exact same thing I told your father. Are you going to accept or not accept? فقالوا مثل قوله. They said exactly like him, which is what? I will listen and I will accept and I will obey. So now this is accepted by your scholars. This narration is accepted by your scholars, including Sayyid Muhammad al-Musawi al-Shirazi in a very, very famous book, Layali Bashawar. So just to make it clear, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein, Ali ibn Abi Talib are all supposed to be patient if the Kaaba is destroyed, if the Quran is distorted, if the Sunan are not being upheld, and basically the religion is completely destroyed. They must be patient as the Prophet, and not just the Prophet, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded them, according to the Shia.
Yeah. Now the question is to the Shia, why did Al-Hussein not uphold this wasiyah and not uphold this covenant and remain patient? Instead, he went out and fought against Yazid. This is the question, and we dare any Shi'i to come and answer this question. Okay? So this is the first point, which is that this covenant was given and Al-Hussein didn't follow it by going out. Now, the second thing that we want to mention inshallah today is another question. Why did Al-Hussein, when going out and disobeying the covenant that the Prophet gave to him, Ali, Hassan, Hussein, and Fatima, when he disobeyed this covenant, why did he take the women and children with him on the way there? Right? This is the question. Now, the problem is Al-Hussein radiallahu anhu, according to the Shi'as, knew that his women were to be taken as concubines. And I remember Muhammad showed a scan like this yesterday, but I'll show it from a different scholar as well, so we could reiterate this. So this is Mawsu'at al-Imam al-Sayyid Abd al-Hussein Sharaf al-Din al-Musawi. Okay? This is his book. He says, علم الحسين بآثار قيامه ودلائله. He says, the knowledge of Al-Hussein, of what will happen after going out, and the proofs of it. He says, وكان الحسين بأبي وأمي على يقين من ترتب هذه الآثار الشريفة على قتله وانتهاب رحله وذبح أطفاله وسبي عياله. Allah. So he says, Al-Hussein, may my father and my mother be a ransom to him, was upon certainty that of what will happen after going out, and he knew about all the consequences that will befall upon him from his killing, from taking his caravans, from the unaliving of his children, and from the taking of his women, his concubines. He says that he was upon certainty that this would happen. So Al-Hussein radiallahu anh, before going out on his way, was upon certainty, and he knew that all of this would happen without a doubt. Yet he still went out. Okay? Now, our question is, why did he take the women and children with him? Now, this question was asked to a lot of Shia scholars, and they all gave different answers. And each answer is worse than the other. It destroys them more than it helps them. So, inshallah, we will show these answers and we'll go through them, inshallah. So, give me 1 second.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry to cut you, Akhi. I just want to say something to the chat. These brothers, they put on work and everything just for you guys to learn. Inshallah ta'ala, stop talking in the comments and like and share the live, and please pay attention to this. Jazakallah khair.
Yeah, barakallah feek. Alright, so Muhammad, can you walk us through this? So the first thing, actually no, yeah, let me just go. So this will be the first answer, right? Of why he went out and took these women with him. So this is the book Sabaya Al Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam by As-Sayyid Nabil Al-Husayni. Okay? And this is page 154. Okay? No volumes, just one book. So he says, المسألة الثانية آثار إخراج النساء إلى كربلاء في الإسلام والمسلمين. He says the matters, that the consequences that happen from taking the woman with Al-Hussein رضي الله عنه. He says ليس من السهل على البحث الوقوف بشكل دقيق ليكون مطابقا لعين الواقع على الحكمة التي اقتضاها مشيئة الله تعالى في إخراج عيال حجة الله تعالى الإمام الحسين عليه السلام. Okay, so he says that this is not something easy to understand of why he actually went out and took it. What was the wisdom behind it? It's not something easy to know. He says إلى أرض كربلاء المعركة التي كانت تناجلها العسكرية قطعية عند الإمام الحسين عليه السلام، وهي استشهاده مع جميع أبنائه وأبناء عمومته وأصحابه ومن ثم سبي هؤلاء النسوة. So he says it's a very hard reality to actually know it without being in what's happened there. So he says وعليه أصبح أمر الوقوف على هذه الحكمة أقرب إلى المستحيل. He says that it became to the point where knowing the wisdom behind this is impossible. It's impossible to know what was the wisdom of Imam al-Hussein taking out these women and going to Karbala, knowing that they will be unalived, and upon that they will be unalived. He says, لا سيما ونحن نتعامل مع أدق القضايا الغيبية التي ارتبطت بدين الإسلام, especially when we're dealing with one of the most intricate and the most detailed matters with regards to Islam. MashaAllah. So he says that knowing this and knowing the hikmah and the wisdom behind Al-Hussein radiallahu anh taking his woman out to Karbala, knowing that they will be taken as concubines, he said it's impossible. It's impossible to know why he took them.
Yeah, and this is something from the ghaib. This is something from the unseen, the knowledge of the unseen that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Right? So when a Shi'i kid, he's sitting in the Husayniyah and he hears the Mu'ammam crying and then saying Al-Hussein, he's smacking himself like left and right, and you have his dad on his right smacking himself, his uncle on his right, his left smacking himself. But then when they go home and they talk about the virtues of Al-Hussein, they say, yeah, Al-Hussein has the knowledge of the unseen. So then the little kid begins to think, and he thinks to himself, Al-Hussein has the knowledge of the unseen. If he has the knowledge of the unseen, and I like this yani brings up many questions. One is, why would he even go? And would this be him committing S-word, which we showed your scholars admitting that he did yesterday? Second thing is, if he wants to commit S-word, why take his kids with him? So when this question is asked, the Shia scholars have an answer, and they say, yani, the only response that we could say is, this is from the ghaib. This is from ilm al-ghaib. This is from the only the knowledge that Allah possesses.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
Bro Muhammad, I have a question though. So if you could take us to the next scan and tell us if, for example, a Shi'i layman or a Shi'i kid goes to a mu'ammam or goes to a marja' and asks him, why did Al-Hussein take out his woman on his way to Kufa, knowing that they will be taken as concubines? So show it to us, inshallah.
You're talking about the one from Nahla al-Husayniyah?
Yeah.
You want to show that one, or do you want me to show the one after it?
No, show it.
Okay.
Because I took your other one.
Yeah, no, you took mine. It's okay. Or do you want to take this one just so we can continue in proper order?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, just so we don't mess up the orders. Just continue.
Right.
I'll do the one from Al-Adwa after.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So this is the book Al-Nahda al-Husayniyya wa Ilm al-Imam by Ayatollah al-Uzma al-Shaykh Lutfullah Safi al-Galbigani. Okay? So he says, عدة ملاحظات حول فلسفة مرافقة نساء البيت للإمام. So he has a couple of things to talk about with regards to this matter, which is why Imam al-Hussein took out his woman with him. He says, كما قلنا مرارا سواء رضي كاتب الشهيد الخالد أو لم يرضى لا يليق بنا أن نسأل عن علة وفلسفة إقدام الإمام. He says, whether the person who's asking this likes it or not, it's not for us and it's not suitable to ask why the Imam took his woman with him. لأننا نعتبره خلاف الأدب. Allah. He says, because we see this as something disrespectful. Asking this religious question on why did Al-Hussein take out his woman with him, knowing that they will be taken as concubines, is a question that contradicts the manners. It's disrespectful. MashaAllah. So now, a Shi'i poor kid who just watched this live goes to his sheikh in the masjid or goes to his local marja' and goes and asks him, why did Al-Hussein take his woman with him, knowing they will be taken as concubines? This is something which is what? Something disrespectful. And this is something that shouldn't be asked. MashaAllah. So yeah.
Okay,
He says,
so
he continues. He says,
you're going to continue it?
Yeah,
Okay,
listen.
go ahead.
He says, yeah. ونرى أنفسنا قاصرين عن فهم المصلحة. That we ourselves don't know. It's disrespectful and we still don't know. So whether it's disrespectful or not, we still can't answer you. من وراء عمل الإمام ومواقفه فمهما كانت رؤيتنا وبصيرتنا شديدة وإدراكنا عاليا لا يمكننا أن نرى عمق الأمور وعواقبها هي عليه. So he says that we can never understand the reason and the depth of these matters and why Al-Hussein actually went out and took his woman with him. So it's both disrespectful and it shouldn't be asked, and even then, even if it's not disrespectful, we still don't even know the answer. Yeah, subhanAllah.
Yeah, so it's disrespectful for a Shi'i to ask why his third Imam took his women and children with him. Why his third Imam committed genocide against the Prophet's family, according to them. Because if I know that I'm gonna go to a place and I'm gonna get alive, the hell with me, let it be me alone. But for me to take my women and children, I'm committing murder. This is me committing murder. And we'll show you, right, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, He says in the Quran, وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. And if it's from other than Allah, they would find a lot of contradictions in it. And if any religion that's other from Allah's religion, you're going to find contradictions in it. And this is why Shi'ism is full of contradictions. One scholar says, we cannot ask this and it's disrespectful. However, if you look at this book here, أضواء على ثورة الحسين, تأليف آية الله العظمى السيد الشهيد محمد الصدر, how does he start off his how does he end off his 136th page? He asked the same question that the other scholar says is disrespectful. السؤال الخامس, the fifth question. لماذا أخذ عياله معه? Why did he take his children with him? So one Shi'i scholar says it's disrespectful, but then another one is brave and asks the same question. Okay? So let's see, is he going to give us a good answer, or is he going to give us another BS answer? This is from the ghaibiyat. This is something that we don't know, we'll never know, it's impossible. Let's see what he says. He says, وجوابه إننا في حدود تصورنا الممكن لنا يمكننا أن نحدد ونعد عدة مصالح حقيقية ومهمة. Right? He says that we can give a bunch of very important answers to this question. Okay? He says أولا, he says the first type of answer that we can give, إنه أخذهم, he took them, الحسين, امتثالا لأمر الله سبحانه. He took them by the request of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the one who told him to do this. لأنه هو الذي أمر بذلك, and he's the one who commanded al-Hussein to do this. Imagine, Allah commanded al-Hussein to take innocent women and children with him. According to who? According to As-Sayyid al-Shaheed Muhammad al-Sadr, not just any scholar, Ayatullah al-Uzma. Right? He continues and he says, وهذا صحيح أكيدا. This is for sure the صحيح, يعني this is a valid answer. ومن شواهده تلك العبارة الواردة, and that we have يعني many shawahid, meaning riwayats that we can find that this was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look what he says. He says something very disgusting and dangerous. He says, شاء الله أن يراهن سبايا. He says verbatim, Allah wanted to see the Prophet's family taken as concubines and taken as slaves. Who's saying this? Yeah, this is from a narration. This is why he says, وَهَذَا صَحِيحٌ أَكِيدٌ هَا شَوَاهِدٌ. He's taking this from the Imam, and he believes in it, that Allah willed for the Prophet's family to be taken as concubines. Who's saying this? This isn't Muhammad Abdul Wahhab, this isn't Ibn Taymiyyah, this isn't Salih al-Fawzan, this isn't Rabi' al-Madkhali, this is who? Ayatullah al-Uzma, As-Sayyid al-Shaheed Muhammad al-Sadr. And they call us Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'a Nawasib. When their scholars say that Allah, and their Imam themselves say that Allah wants to see the Prophet's family taken as concubines, because they can't cope, they can't answer. How do you harmonize between an Imam having ilm al-ghaib, the knowledge of the unseen, and taking his women to be unalived? So they say, oh, Allah commanded him to do this.
Yeah. So, Yani, you've seen it with your own eyes. Alhamdulillah. But Muhammad, I got the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to do the next one? Okay,
No,
go
you
ahead.
want to do that?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay,
I'll do it. Yeah, so just to emphasize this again, as Anti said in the comments, I think it's good to emphasize it again. Yani, the whole topic today is, why did Al-Hussein go out, right? Number one, when he was told not to go out and to be patient, even if his family, like literally, the Prophet said, yani, if the hurma is distorted, yani, I don't know how to say in English properly, yani, even violated, yeah, if it's violated, yani, right? Which Yazid didn't even do that to him yet. He's the one who put himself in that position according to the Shia, right? Because he knew this and he still put himself in the position. Secondly, if the Kaaba was destroyed. Thirdly, if the Quran was distorted. Fourthly, if none of the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ are being compiled, Al-Hussein was told to be patient and not do anything. However, he went against the will of Allah, he went against the will of the Prophet, and he still went out according to the Shia. So now what we're doing is, do their scholars give a good answer on why he's doing this? And this is what we're showing. We're going to show a bunch of answers from their scholars and a bunch of copes to see why they say this, right? So I just showed. Each cope gets worse. It gets worse and worse. So just be ready. So I just showed a Sayyid al-Shaheed Muhammad Sadr saying that Allah willed for his women to be taken as concubines. Let's see what he also says in the same book, right? And it's only a couple pages down. I think it's like 2 pages down. After he gives his answer on why Al-Hussein went out, he says something else about Al-Hussein. So this is again كتاب أضواء على ثورة الحسين تأليف آية الله العظمى السيد الشهيد محمد صدر. Okay, he says this in page 139. He says, this is literally the next question after. السؤال السادس: هل اختم الحسين وحزن لوقوع هذا البلاء العظيم الذي عليه وعلى أهل بيته وأصحابه? He says, did al-Hussein, did he regret or feel sadness, right, to what happened to his family and his companions? He says, لعل من الواضح الجواب بالنفي لعدة اعتبارات. He says, we do naf of this question, meaning we don't say that he was sad, and we don't say that he was sad, and we don't say that he was happy. We keep it in the middle. Just like how the Ash'ari say Allah exists and doesn't exist. The Muhammad Sallallahu says he wasn't happy and he wasn't sad. We keep it in the middle. He says, منها, we answer, منها إن الحزن والبكاء فيه إشعار بالاعتراض على الله سبحانه وحاشاه. He says that what we say is that him crying, him being sad and crying has اعتراض. How do you say اعتراض, Ibn Uwais?
It's
in English?
So
like a disobedience or disagreement
to
what Allah willed, because he believes that Allah willed him to take his women as concubines. So if al-Hussein cries about this means that he's going against the will of Allah. And he says, Hasha, al-Hussein can never cry, because if al-Hussein cries, this will go against the will of Allah. So who's saying this? The same scholar that said that al-Hussein wanted to take his women as concubines.
So wait, Muhammad, can you show us the last part? Because I have a question, maybe he answers it. So
okay, about the Shia today.
Yeah, because look, Muhammad al-Sadr clearly says that basically crying or feeling sad on what happened, if al-Hussein cried or felt sad about what happened, this would be an objection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and an objection to his destiny, right? And he's free from this. Now, the Shias today who cry, are they not objecting to the will of Allah for al-Hussein to be unalived? Maybe he answers this. Let's see, inshallah.
Yeah, he continues on. I forgot to show this, but he says, وَأَمَّا الْحَزْنُ وَالْبُكَاء المطلوب من محب الحسين, meaning from the people who love al-Hussein عليه السلام, في الشريعة, that we can find this from the Sharia. فلأن تكليفه عليه السلام يختلف عن تكليفنا وتقديره غير تقديرنا ونظره إلى الأمور غير نظرنا. He says, as for the Shia, he gives a cope for the Shia that cry today. He says, as for the Shia that cry today, then the way that they look at umur, the way that they look at stances is different than al-Hussein looks at it, right? And how do I explain وَتَقْدِيرُهُ غَيْرُ تَقْدِيرِنَا? Wallah, I'm not good at translating, bro.
So
his will is different. His will and how he looks at stuff is different than how we look at stuff. So al-Hussein can't cry.
Outsider's view and a reality. So he has the reality and we have the outsider's view. So because we're outsiders and we don't understand the real background of what happened, we should cry. But al-Hussein crying, that means he's objecting to Allah Azza wa Jal.
Allah,
okay?
Yeah, but as for the Shia, when they cry, they're not objecting because they don't know the reality. Al-Hussein is the one who knows the reality, so he knows not to cry. But as for you, Shia, today, you don't know the reality. And today we're going to show you the reality, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. So now, this is very important because Muhammad al-Sadr says something very important. He says that if al-Hussein were to be sad or were to cry, this would be what? This would be an objection to Allah Azza wa Jal and his destiny. So he said, so now, if al-Hussein cried and was sad, this means he objected to Allah Azza wa Jal, and this destroys his infallibility. Okay? Now the question is, did al-Hussein cry and was he sad, or was he in the middle, like Muhammad al-Sadr the Kadhab said? Yeah? So let's see. So this is Kitab. Wait, let me make my screen bigger. Okay. So this is the book Al-Majalis As-Saniyya في مناقب ومصائب العترة النبوية by المجتهد الكبير السيد محسن الأمين. Okay? So he quotes this narration. He says, فضربه رجل بعمود على رأسه فخر صريعا إلى الأرض ونادى بأعلى صوته أدركني يا أخي فانتقد عليه أبو عبد الله عليه السلام كالصقر فرآه مقطوع اليمين. So this person's hand was basically cut off, and Al-Hussein, he jumped on him to save him. So he cut off his left hand, both his hands. مرسوخ الجبن مشكوك العين. So his eyes were taken out.
This is talking about Abu Fadl Abbas ibn Uwais.
Yeah. بسهم مثخن بالجراحة فوقف عليه منحنيا وجلس عند رأسه يبكي. So Al-Hussein sat next to the head of Abu Fadl Abbas, and he started what? He started crying. Now, what did Muhammad al-Sadr say? He says if Al-Hussein were to be sad or were to cry, this means that he's objecting to Allah Azza wa Jal. So now, what does this mean? Does this not mean that Al-Hussein is now objecting to Allah Azza wa Jal by crying next to Abu Fadl Abbas? Okay. So this is the first instance where he cried. Let's see another one. This is بحوث ومقالات by Dr. Sheikh Abbas Kashif al-Ghita. He says, he mentions this long narration, the same narration of Abu Fadl Abbas. And he says, وَبَلَّ غَلِيلَهُ وَنَسِيَ مَا وَرَاءَهُ أَمْ هُوَ يُجَاهِدُ الْأَعْدَاءَ فَعِنْدَهَا بَكَى الْحُسَيْنِ عَلَيْهِ السَّلَامِ. In this instance, when he found that Abu Fadl Abbas was unalived, he started what? He started weeping and he started crying. Now, if we go back to what Muhammad al-Sadr says, he says, if al-Husayn إن الحزن والبكاء فيه إشعار بالاعتراض على الله سبحانه. He says, if Al-Hussein were to be sad or were to cry, this is an objection to Allah Azza wa Jal. And guess what? Al-Hussein cried when Abu Fadl Abbas was unalived. Now, does this mean that Al-Hussein objected to Allah Azza wa Jal? Where's the infallibility now?
So just to summarize what Ibn Uwais and me were talking about in the last 3 scans, Muhammad al-Sadr, he says that whoever says, right, and we have a narration from the Ahlul Bayt proving this, that Al-Hussein cried about what he saw his family going through, then this contradicts the other riwayat of the Ahlul Bayt saying that Allah wanted to see his women and children in this way or in this state. And if he cries about this, then this means that he's going against the will of Allah. But was he truthful or was he a liar? We just showed, right, in one of your books of about Maqtal al-Hussein, right, where al-Hussein did cry when he saw Abu Fadl Abbas, his head on the floor and his arms cut off and arrows in his eye, and he saw him, he went to his head and he began crying. So now we asked them, is Al-Hussein going against the will of Allah? Right? But this is obviously something that they're not going to be able to answer, because if they do, then 1, your Imam is no longer infallible, and then 2, you'd say that he's a kafir because he went against the will of Allah, and he knew that he was going against the will of Allah when Allah told him to do otherwise, which he did. Now, we're going to continue showing more copes on why Al-Hussein took his women and children and all that until we get maybe a convincing answer. Let's see if we can get a convincing answer by the end of the live. Okay. 1 second. So, this is Kitab مأساة الزهراء عليها السلام شبهات ورudud. Okay. So this is by Ja'far Murtada al-Amili. So he basically makes a book about shubuhat, and he responds to the shubuhat in it. This is volume 1, page 276. It's very ironic because what I'm about to show is going to be a big shubuha. So he wasn't really good at responding. So he says in his 276 page, volume 1, he says الثاني. So he's talking about why Al-Hussein took his women. He says حمل الحسين عليه السلام معه النساء والأطفال إلى كربلاء. So he said Al-Hussein took the women and children to Karbala حتى لا يدعي الحكام المجرمون أن اللصوص قتل الحسين أو أنه تاه في الصحراء فمات عطشا. So he says, Wallahi, pay attention to the Shia. He says, Al-Hussein himself, took his women and children, right? Because he didn't want the transgressing rulers at the time, the Tawaghit, right? For example, like they say, Yazid ibn Muawiyah and Banu Umayyah and all them. He didn't want the Tawaghit to claim that Al-Hussein got lost in the desert and he was so weak and he died out of thirst. So when they unalive Al-Hussein, his women and children are going to be witnesses to be him being unalived, and the kings and the transgressors can't lie and say that he just simply was lost in the desert. So he basically wanted his women and children to be there as witnesses to him being unalived, so they can tell the people and that the kings at the time don't lie and say that he was simply lost in the desert and try to cover up his death. So basically, he took his women and children and had them die over his own ego. He would rather them be witnesses and tell the people that he was unalived wrongfully than rather the kings at the time say that, oh, he was just lost in the desert. And who's saying this? Your Shi'i scholars, As-Sayyid Ja'far Murtada al-Amili. Yani, who believes this? Who believes that Hussein is going to take his women and children to simply stop lies from being spread about him, that he was lost in the desert and that he wouldn't what's it called? He didn't die of thirst or etc. But anyways, I just want, wallahi, the Shia to fathom this. How are your scholars speaking about Al-Hussein radiyallahu anhu arda this way? They call us the Nasibis and etc. for this, but yeah. Now we're gonna go into another cope, inshallah. This isn't the only cope. There's many more copes. 1 second. Yeah, exactly, and they call us the Nawasib. So, this is
Muhammad.
Kitab. What's up? You're lagging.
What's the next book?
What's up? Yeah, I'm gonna show from Muhammad Jawad Mughni.
Never mind, Google.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is Kitab al-Majalis al-Husayniyya by Muhammad Jawad Mughni. Okay? He says in his 46th page, he says, وَبِذَلِكَ نَجِدُ الجواب عن هذا السؤال, this disrespectful question that your scholar said is disrespectful to ask, right? He says, we find an answer to this. لماذا صحب الحسين معه النساء والأطفال إلى كربلاء? Why did Al-Hussein take the women and children with him to Karbala? وما كان أغناه عن تعرضهم للسبي والتنكيل. Muhammad boy in the comments, you're learning from Madakhila. Zip your mouth. So he gives the answer to this.
Pay attention to this one. It's very important.
Yeah. He gives an answer to why Al-Hussein took the women and children with him to Karbala. And why did he expose them to being concubines and to be taken as prisoners? He says, لَقَدْ صَحَبَهُمْ مَعَهُ الْحُسَيْنِ لِيَطُوفُوا بِهِمْ فِي الْبُلْدَانِ وَيَرَاهُمْ كُلُّ إِنسَانٍ مُكَشِّفَاتُ الْوُجُوهِ. So he says that Al-Hussein took his women and children so that they are, how do you say لِيَطُوفُوا? So that they're like circled around in the countries. Yeah. So that they're circled around, like they're walked around. وَيَرَاهُمْ كُلُّ إِنسَانٍ, and every single person sees their faces uncovered. Al-Hussein did this, and he wanted his women to be looked at by the people. Can you believe this? I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see this written in a book. يَقُولُونَ لِلنَّاسِ, and they tell the people, the women and the children tell the people, and Hussein tells the people, وَفِي أَيْدِيَهُمُ الْأَغْلَالِ وَالسَّلَاسِلِ, and their hands are locked up and chained. أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ, O people, انظروا ما فعلت أمية التي تدعي الإسلام بآل نبيكم. O people, look at us, look at our faces, look at the chains in our hands. Look what Banu Umayyah, who claims to be Muslims, is doing to the family of your Prophet. So Al-Hussein, he took his women and children, and he made them seen as concubines and etc. and locked up, and all the people to see them, just for Banu Umayyah to be embarrassed. So Al-Hussein was a dayyuth, according to them, and he took his women and children just so Banu Umayyah can be embarrassed. Do you really believe this? Do you Shia? Because I know there's a couple Shia watching the live. Do you really believe this? Wal'adhu billah.
No. And Muhammad Jawad Mughniya also mentions this in another book, which is this is the book Al-Husayn وبطلة كربلاء. Okay, so this is also a book by Muhammad Jawad Mughniya. He says, لقد صحب الحسين النساء معه عن قصد وتصميم ليطوف بهن الأمويين في البلدان ويراهن كل إنسان. Allah. He says that the reason that Al-Hussein took out his woman with him is so that the Umayyas, the people of Banu Umayyah, take these women around and expose them to the people without their veils, and see their faces and know that these are the family of the Prophet. So Allah wished for the woman of her to be seen without being veiled by every single person. And he says, and his quote for this is what? ويلقن بلسان الحال والمقال أيها المسلمون انظروا ما فعلت أمية التي تدعي الإسلام بآل نبيكم. He says that the reason for this is because they wanted to expose Banu Umayyah and show that there were actually people who claimed Islam and they weren't Muslims, okay, and that they were fusaq. Now, the $1 million question here, right? The whole cope for this is to expose Banu Umayyah, but didn't the Ahlul Bayt already exposed Banu Umayyah? Wasn't Yazid, according to the Shia, a drunkard who used to drink alcohol publicly? Didn't he used to do zina publicly, according to the Shias? Wasn't Banu Umayyah already exposed, and that's why Al-Hussein went against them in the first place?
Exactly.
Where's the point now? Where's the point? If Banu Umayyah are already exposed, and they're exposing themselves, like not even the Ahlul Bayt are exposing them, what's the point of taking these women with them? Because this cope is in the garbage. This is a Nasibi cope. He's saying that the women of the Prophet's family were only wished to be taken out so they could be seen unveiled. Why? Because Banu Umayyah weren't exposed yet. Yet Banu Umayyah, according to them, are the same ones who used to do these sins publicly in front of everyone. They expose themselves. What are you exposing now? Subhanallah. Ajib.
Yeah, wal'adhu billah. And this next one is gonna probably be the best cope that we're gonna show today. Yani the best cope. Ibn Uwais, you're gonna show it, right? From Ashuriyat.
Yeah. So, I forgot about that one. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. That's a long one. Okay. So this is the book عاشوريات دراسة في نهضة الإمام الحسين by السيد علي الرضوي. So he says in this book, he gives a cope for this as well. Okay? But this one, I want you guys to pay attention to this cope and look how much is going to backfire on them. Okay? So look, he says, نعم يبقى الكلام حول إمكان الجمع بين قصده إقامة حكومة وحيانية مع علمه بالتقديرات الإلهية بمقتره وحل ذلك لا يكون إلا بالبداء. That the only way that we could actually understand this and understand why Al-Hussein took his woman with him is that we have to go back to what? Bada. We have to escape and rescue ourselves with Bada. Okay? Bada. So now, what is Bada? Bada, according to the Shia, means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not know of the things that were to occur until they occur. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually ignorant of what will happen in the future until what happened in the future actually occurs, and then Allah knows about it. Okay, which is a completely kufri belief. So he says the only way that we'll understand why Al-Hussein went out is what is Bada, is by rescuing ourselves to Bada. He says, وأن الله تعالى قادر على تغيير ما قدره وإليك ما يدل على إمكان حدوث تغييرات في خصوصيات الأمر دون أصله. So he says that Allah is able to change his destiny, right? And this Bada is the only reason that Allah will change his destiny. because Allah does not know of what will happen. He has a destiny, and when a new thing happens, He might change His destiny. Okay? He says, لأنه من الميعاد وإن الله لا يخلف الميعاد مضافا إلى لزوم حصول البلاء في أصل الشهادة لتكذيب الأنبياء والرسل والله تعالى لا يفعل ذلك. He says, أما الخصوصيات كالتقدم والتأخير في موعد الشهادة أو بعض الخصوصيات الأخرى فلا مانع عقلا أو شرعا من حصولها وإليك ما دل على إمكان البداء في خصوصيات النهضة. He says that there's proofs that Allah could have bada. For example, if a person is going to die as a shaheed or if he will die a natural death, right? He doesn't know. Allah doesn't know. Allah is ignorant until it happens. And he says, we'll give examples in what happened in Karbala to prove our point, which is that Allah could have bada. He says, إمكان البلاء وعدمه في خصوصيات واقعة الطرف. So he mentions different examples until he gets to the last part, which we need. He says, إذ التقدير قد يتغير بتغيير الله تعالى القادر على التغيير والتأخير والتقديم فلا داعي لأن يلتزم بهذه المقالة من أن أهل البيت عليهم السلام كانوا يعلمون وفق الظاهر مع العلم بالواقع كي يرد عليه ما أورده البعض من لزوم عدم تأثر علمهم وقراراتهم إذ أساس هذه النظيرة العمل وفق الظاهر مع العلم بواقع دائما لا يمكن المساعدة عليها. So he says that the Ahlul Bayt, knowing what will happen by the Zahir, knowing what will happen in the future, does not deny the fact that Allah could change this future through their actions. Okay? He says, لا يمكن المساعدة عليها والحل لهذه المعضلة وغيرها يكون بالبداء وأن الله تعالى على كل شيء قدير فبالرغم من علمهم بالتقديرات. He says the only answer to this, and the one and only answer to this, is what? Is the concept of bada. Meaning that the reason Al-Hussein took his woman with him to Karbala, knowing that they will be unalived and knowing that they will be taken as concubines, is so that he thought by him going out with his woman, it would change Allah's mind and they would end up not being unalived. SubhanAllah. So he says, the only reason that Al-Hussein took his woman with him is that maybe Allah would change his mind and stop Yazid and his army from unaliving him.
This is a very frequent concept within Shiaism, that Allah changed his mind multiple times. One, when it came to the imama, the chain of imama being from Al-Hasan's children, but when he did a treaty with Muawiyah, Allah changed his mind and he made it from Al-Hussein. Right? When it came to the children of Ja'far al-Sadiq, right? They believe that Allah changed his mind because they believe that the Prophet, these imams were chosen way before everything was made and all that stuff, right? So how is the imam changing his mind last second and all this stuff? This is because Allah changed his mind himself. And this is the concept called bada. Right?
Yeah. So the Imam is more knowledgeable than Allah, and the reason that he took his woman is to maybe convince Allah. Maybe Allah could change his mind. It depends on his mood. He can change his mind and tell him, "Khalas, I'm gonna stop Yazid's army. They're not gonna unalive you guys. You guys could go back safe."
Yeah. Anyways, so we're gonna go on to the next point. This is probably, in my opinion, this is the best cope that the Shia have because there is no other cope than this, right? That
before Muhammad, before you go, I had a question to you and Ibn Uwais, if you guys have time. So the thing is, you guys mentioned that one of the cope is that they want to expose Bani Umayyah, and the second cope is that they said that Allah Azza wa Jal changed his mind. You both guys mentioned, may Allah bless you both, that both of them are, for example, bad because one of the copes, it says that they basically, the Shia books or the Shia ulama, they said that Al-Hussein alayhi salam is the youth, wal-a'udhu billah.
Yeah.
And second cope is basically that Allah Azza wa Jal changed his mind, which is a kufr statement. Have any Shia answered regarding those two questions about those, what were their explanation? Do they have explanation as long one of them is that Al-Hussein is the youth and one of them is kufr statement for Allah Azza wa Jal.
Okay, they haven't even heard about this to have an answer. This is probably the first time they hear about this in their life. So they can't even
Subhanallah.
get an answer. Yeah.
Subhanallah.
Yeah, so as Khalid said, like we went through a bunch of copes, and yani if I was a Shi'i, and if I'm a Shia, I'm already a kafir. So like I mean the kufr doesn't get worse with more kufr, yani. So if I just believe that Allah changed his mind, I'd rather believe that than believe that my imam's a Dayyut, right? But anyways, now that we've went through all the copes, right, we're gonna show how yani that the same people that they curse are the same people that your imam was yani thinking about and yani I don't want to spoil it. I'll show you what I mean.
Yeah,
Yani,
because they always ask, what did Ahl Sunnah do? Where were Ahl Sunnah?
yeah, what was
when
Ahl
Al-Hussein
Sunnah doing, right?
was unalive. Yeah.
Yeah, what was Ahl Sunnah doing while Hussein was being unalived? Let's see. While your God was busy changing his mind and changing his slippers,
Still
we'll see
thinking.
what Ahl Sunnah was doing. So look, this is Kitab Tarikh al-Tabari, right? Now the Shia will be like, oh, hey, why are you calling Tarikh al-Tabari? You said that the whole time it's going to be Shia books. Well, al-Tabari is quoting Abu Mikhnif, and we all know who Abu Mikhnif is. If you're a Shi'i and you don't know who Abu Mikhnif is, go watch the most recent S2K video of يعني your debaters being taught who Abu Mikhnif is. He says فحدثني عبد الله بن عاصم قال حدثني الضحاك قال لما أقبلوا نحونا فنظروا إلى النار في الحطب والقصب الذي كنا ألهبنا في النار. So he basically mentions when the midst of the battle was happening, Karbala, the battle of Karbala and what happened. He says قال فلما سمع أخواته كلامه هذا صحنا وبكينا. So the women and the children of the women and yani the relatives of Al-Hussein radiallahu anhu, when they were seeing what was happening and all this and people dying, they began to cry. وبكى بناته فارتفعت أصواتهن, and his children, right, his children began to cry as well. فأرسل إليهن أخاه العباس ابن علي وعليا ابنه. So he says that when he saw them crying, Al-Hussein sent to them Al-Abbas, Abu Fadl Al-Abbas, and he also sent Zayn Al-Abidin, his son. وَقَالَ لَهُمَا أَسْكِتَاهُنْ, make them stay quiet, tell them to stop crying, right? قال فلما ذهب ليسكتاهن, so when they sent to go, when they went to go and make them stay quiet, قال لا يبعد ابن عباس, قال لا يبعد ابن عباس. So he was saying that Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, he wasn't far. What he said wasn't far. And what did Ibn Abbas tell him, Ibn Uwais?
Ibn Abbas told him, as we read in the scan yesterday, not to go out. And he told him that the people of Kufa are people of betrayal, and they will not stay with you, and they won't support you. Right? And Hussein didn't listen to him.
Yes.
Now, he's saying
So-
that Ibn Abbas was right. Ibn
Yeah.
Abbas, Ahl Sunnah, he was right, and we should have stayed back.
Yeah, so when he says لا يبعد ابن عباس رضي الله عنه, he says that basically what this is about is he's saying يعني, his words weren't far-fetched. I should have listened to him. قال فظننا أنه إنما قالها حين سمع بكاؤهن. So he only said this when he heard them crying, when he saw them crying, and he was like, it really hit him that I'm about to be unalive. My women are crying, my children are crying. He said, what? I should have listened to Ibn Abbas. لأنه قد كان نهاه أن يخرج بهن. Because Abdullah ibn Abbas was the one who told him not to go. فلما سكتوا حمد الله وأثنى عليه. So when they stopped crying, he said Alhamdulillah. But when they began crying and etc., and it hit him, he's like, yes, I actually should have listened to Abdullah ibn Abbas, who's from Ahl Sunnah, as you guys admit, and who's a kafir according to you guys. One, he's from Ahlul Bayt simultaneously, so he's the Prophet's cousin. يعني this isn't just found in Tarikh al-Tabari, it's also found in their books, okay? So this is Kitab Maqatil al-Talibin al-Abi al-Faraj al-Asfahani, okay? And he mentions this, he's a Shia, yes. He mentions this in page 110. He mentions the whole story, right? He says, he mentions when they were crying and all that stuff. He says, وَيَقُول لِلَّهِ ضَرُّ ابْنُ عَبَّاسِ. فيما أشار علي به. He says, يعني والله, I'm thinking about what Ibn Abbas reminded me, أشار علي به. What he reminded me to do before leaving to Karbala. So
Yeah.
Al-Hussein himself agrees with Abdullah ibn Abbas. He agrees with Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah that he shouldn't have went himself. يعني, when you say what did Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah do?
No. But the thing is, with this narration, it destroys the whole concept of Al-Hussein radiallahu anhu going out. Because now he's taking the view of Ibn Abbas, which is that he wanted to go back and he should have stayed back and he shouldn't have went to Kufa. Okay? Now the Shia scholars, we saw how they struggled with the tiniest argument, which is why his women were taken with him. Now, what did they do to this? Did they try to figure out a cope, maybe an answer, maybe try to like weaken the narration or something? Let's see what they did, right? So, let's see. This will be Shia Copes 101. This is the easiest cope of them all. So this is the book. So as Muhammad mentioned, At-Tabari quoted Abu Mikhnaf, Lut bin Yahya al-Azdi, right? Who's a Shi'i, Zindiq. So he has a book on the killing of Al-Hussein radiallahu anhu, right? Now, what did the academically honest Shia scholars do when they came to this narration? Yeah? Let's see what they did. This is Waqi'at al-Taf by Abi Mikhnaf Lut ibn Yahya al-Azdi al-Ghamidi al-Kufi. This is with the tahqiq of Shaykh Muhammad Hadi al-Yusufi al-Gharawi. Okay? So let's see. The same narration. He says, فَلَمَّا سَمِعَ أَخَوَاتُهُ كَلَامُهُ هَذَا صَحْنٌ وَبُكَيْنٌ وَبَكَى وارتفعت أصواتهن فأرسل إليهن أخاه العباس بن علي وعلي ابنه وقال لهما أسكتاهما فلعمري ليكونن بكاؤهن. Okay? No. We skipped فلما سكتنا. So when they became quiet. So in the other narration, it says when they were crying and he sent his sons, right? He said that the saying of Ibn Abbas was right. Now they completely cut this out. They took it out, right? No more copes. Just straight up tahrif. Let me just cut out the narration where he says Ibn Abbas was right. SubhanAllah.
They did tahrif. They literally did tahrif of where.
Literally cut it out. Straight up.
At-Tabari quoted from Maqtal Abi Mikhnaf, okay? And he quoted the whole narration, right? So he quoted the whole narration. Yani, if Tariq al-Tabari if he's biased and he doesn't like Shia, he would have quoted from Abi Mikhnaf regardless. But now your scholars, when Abu Mikhnaf, right, when they did tahqiq, meaning they how do you say tahqiq? Like they went over the book, right?
Verified it.
Yeah, when they verified the
Authenticity.
book and they second the book or whatever, they took out the part of Al-Hussein praising Ibn Abbas and saying I should have listened to him. They literally cut it out.
So no more quotes, no more weakening the narration. Just cut it out, akhi. Just cut it out. Okay? Now, did this happen once? No, it happened twice. Maybe even more. This is the book Al-Sahih min Maqtal Sayyid al-Shuhada wa Ashabih by Muhammad al-Rayshahri. Okay? Now, this one is even clearer. This one, he straight up quotes, and he quotes Tariq al-Tabari from the Hakim al-Mashriqi. So he's literally quoting it. He's literally quoting Tariq al-Tabari. So no one can say, oh, this is a different narration. He got it from a different book. No, he got this from Tariq al-Tabari. Okay? He says, كان مع الحسين عليه السلام فرس أنه يدعى لاحقا حمل عليه ابنه علي بن الحسين عليه السلام قال فلما دنا منه قوم until the end. This is the important part. He says قال فلما سمع أخواته كلامه هذا صحن وبكين وبكى بناته فارتفعت أصواتهن فأرسل إليهن أخاه العباس بن علي وعليا عليه السلام ابنه وقال لهما اسكتاهن فلعمري ليكونن بكاؤهن. And he straight up, he puts 3 dots and just goes on. He takes out the part where Al-Hussein says the saying of Ibn Abbas was right. Have you ever seen this in your life, ya akhi?
They did it with
He
the
puts 4
Quran, bro.
dots, takes it out, that's it, khalas.
They
And
did it
he's
with the
literally
word of Allah,
quoting
bro.
Tariq al-Tabari. This is the problem. He's quoting Tariq al-Tabari, and he admits he took it out by putting das there. And he doesn't mention the narration. SubhanAllah. Allah maskhara. But yeah, يعني, SubhanAllah. This is the
Yo,
academic
Ibn
honesty of
Uwais,
the field.
like, just
Yeah,
so
so,
quick, inshallah. So, the narration that you read in this book, there is nowhere to be found in the Shia books, but it's taken from Tariq al-Tabari, and they took
yeah.
off the part that they want, right?
No, it's in Shia books. But the thing is, they're cutting it out. So if you had it from
Uh-huh.
here, it's gonna show from the other side. Yani, you can't remember.
Subhanallah. 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 Wallah, this is crazy.
SubhanAllah. No more copes, no more weakening. Just cut it out, put 4 dots.
La ilaha illallah.
But yeah, inshallah, that will sum it up for today. Bismillah. So we went, just to summarize real quick, we went through 3 different things. Firstly, we showed how Ali ibn Abi Talib, Al-Hasan and Hussein and Fatima were given a covenant to remain patient, even if the Quran were to be ripped up, even if the Kaaba were to be destroyed, even if the Sunan were to be paused, even if the person's beard would be full of blood from how much he was being tortured, he should remain patient. And Al-Hussein didn't listen to this covenant that he accepted from the Prophet, and he ended up going out and fighting against Yazid. This was the first thing. Now, the second thing is, we showed and we asked, why did Al-Hussein take his family with him, knowing that his family will be unalived, and he was upon certainty that he would be unalived, that they will be unalived. And we went through all the different copes. One cope was that this is something which is from the unseen, and we don't know why Al-Hussein actually did this. And the second thing is that this is actually disrespectful to ask this question. And the third cope is that Hussein radiallahu anh couldn't be sad and he couldn't cry, right? And we showed from their books that Al-Hussein was sad and that he cried. And that Muhammad al-Sadr says, if Al-Hussein were to cry or to be sad, that this would be an objection to the destiny of Allah Azza wa Jal. So according to Muhammad al-Sadr, Al-Hussein was objecting
Also,
to the
Ibn Uwais,
destiny
don't
of Allah
forget that
Azza wa Jal.
Allah willed for his to see his women be taken as concubines.
Yeah, and also Muhammad al-Sadr says, and he quotes a narration, that Allah willed for Al-Hussein's woman to be seen as concubines, right? And we showed the saying of Muhammad Jawad Mughniya in 2 of his books, saying that basically the reason that he took his woman with him is that so the people could see the women of Al-Hussein unveiled and their faces uncovered, and they could know that Banu Umayyah are people who claim Islam yet they're not Muslims, right? And we responded to this quote by saying that Banu Umayyah themselves, according to the Shia, exposed their own selves, and they were drinking publicly, they would do it publicly. So what is the Ahlul Bayt going out with Al-Hussein actually exposing when Banu Umayyah themselves exposed themselves? And we went through the third argument, which is Al-Hussein radiallahu anh admitting and taking the view of Ahl Sunnah and the view of Ibn Abbas and Ibn Umar and others, as we mentioned yesterday, that he should have stayed back and he shouldn't have went out. And we showed the absolute academic honesty of the Shias and how they transmitted this narration and cut it out.
You guys forgot
Yeah.
about one thing. When they literally said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't know of this happening.
Oh yeah, and also
But-
that you mentioned the quote of their scholars admitting that the only quote to this and the only answer to this is that we say that Allah didn't know that this would happen, and that Al-Hussein took his woman and his children with him so that he could change Allah's mind, and Allah could basically change his mind and make Yazid's army not try to unalive Al-Hussein and his people.
Yeah.
And Allah didn't mind, so
Yeah, so this
that's
is
what happened.
the ayah I mentioned earlier, and I want every Shia to take a look at it. And this ayah describes your religion perfectly, because we just showed you about like 20 different copes that your scholars have to one simple question: why did Hussein take his women and children with him if he knew this? Because they admit that he knew this, that he knew what was going to happen. So Allah says in the Quran in Surah An-Nisa verse 82, He says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Allah says, then do they not reflect upon the Quran? And if it had been from any other than Allah, meaning if this religion was from other than Allah, they would have found within it much contradiction. a lot, not just a bit of contradiction. One here says, oh, we can't ask this. No, a lot of contradiction. We show like 20 different contradictions from just within one question today. Yani, this is why you guys say the Quran is muharraf anyway. So
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah.
The thing
What's
that I cannot
stopping?
understand is that to Azza wa Jal changed his mind.
No.
Allah
Exactly.
is crazy.
No, yeah, they didn't only say that Allah changed his mind. The concept of bada is that Allah is a jahil. وَلِعَيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ.
A'udhu billah.
Allah is a jahil وَلِعَيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ until the thing occurs. So Hussein, he knew that what happened, and he knew the consequences of what happened, and Allah didn't know. But he tried to change it by taking his woman. So maybe Allah could be merciful upon him and feel bad for him, so he could change the destiny and make Yazid's army not unalive them. MashaAllah.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
السلام ورحمة
Akhi
الله
Jamil.
وبركاته يا أستاذ.
ابن نويس.
هلا حبيبي. Yeah.
حياك الله. ابن نويس في ذا.
Yeah, أخي, I'm here.
والله عز وجل هي they say that Allah عز وجل هي وقع هذه الأمر بالسبعين. You know that narration?
No. Oh yeah. We're gonna go through that maybe tomorrow. I was just looking at it right now. I was like, we didn't
Inshallah.
do this last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Inshallah, yeah. No worries. Because that has something to do with bada as well, right?
Yeah. It does. Okay, it's a very, very dangerous argument. Very dangerous argument. Ibn, no, there's not a single Ash'ari scholar who believes in bada. This is nonsense.
Yeah, but that is, yeah, I was about to say that's not really.
This is and even the Shia scholars themselves, they refute this. So let me show you something. 1 second. Give me 1 second.
By the way, if any Shias in the comments want to come up and like basically answer the question that the brothers made up, so feel free to join, inshallah.
No. So Al-Majlisi actually in Mir'at al-Uqul, in his chapter of Al-Bada', after mentioning the narration that there's nothing that is worshipped or getting close to Allah better than Bada'. So he says in the bottom, he says قَوْلُهُ مَا عُبِدَ بِشَيْءٍ مِثْلَ الْبَدَاءِ أي الإيمان بالبداء. So believing in Bada' is one of the best types of Iman and faith. He says واعلم أن البداء مما ظن أن الإمامية قد تفردت به وقد شنع عليهم بذلك كثير من المخالفين. So he says, know that al-bada' was something that is known that only the Imamiyya, only the 12ers believe in this, right? And he says that this is something that Ahlul Sunnah actually criticized the Shias for immensely. So yeah, he himself admits that this is something that only the Shias believe in and no one else.
yeah, I mean, we're done now. We're done educating the Shia. So you guys can request up now. Or do you guys only like requesting up and saying, "Oh, I'm Shia," in the middle of us educating you guys, so you could disrupt it?
Maybe they might run away like how they did in Ghadir. How you destroyed the Ghadir.
Yeah, but that guy Harun in the comments, the one who said I'm Shia, I know him. He's not Shia.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, Shia, if you're not brave enough to come, send it to your friends who took a couple screenshots on Sunnah.com and think that they're debaters now. Send the live to them. Maybe they can come and speak. You know, there's always that one Shia who has like pen and paper screenshotted on his phone. Ibn Majah 1944 screenshot on his phone, and he thinks khalas, he has it figured it out. So send the live to them.
I mean, the topic of this, like, it is the best topic that the Shia can debate against the Sunnis. As long you guys claim that the Sunnis unalived Imam al-Hussein, you guys say the worst stuff about us, especially when it's come to the Muharram. So right now, like, you have a chance to come up and speak and even make shubahat. So feel free to join, inshallah.
Okay, like this is wallahi, this is sad, bro, because Shiaism, by the admission of their own scholars, is based upon two things: the event of Ghadir and the event of the killing of Imam al-Hussein. And both of these we made lives on, and not one of them were able to defend the religion.
Subhanallah.
These two things, if they're gone, khalas, there's no Shiaism, bro. No Shiaism.
I mean, you guys scream on your lives. Wallah, you guys scream on your life, oh, Sunnis, this and that. But, like, you have, like, free panel to come up. And even the brothers will give you a mud. No one will interrupt you. The comments will be closed and everything. Like, just be a man and come up, wallah. This is sad
no
for you,
Shia
wallah.
no Shia getting mod, akhi. But as M24 said, they are Sunnah.com merchants. That's all they know. There you go. Maybe Shia Pen, Shia Vault, these Rafida websites. They learn a few arguments and they come running like good little doggies, wagging their tails, thinking that they've done something. But when we actually speak about like Brother Ibn Awais mentioned, speak about the most important events in their pathetic lives or their pathetic cults, they can't defend. And Muharram, they lift up rayat, flags, Ya Atharat al-Hussein, we're going to take revenge for al-Hussein. Okay, let's speak about what actually happened.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what actually happened.
I put the profile picture for them too, yani. Ya li Tha'rat al-Hussein. I put it as my profile picture. I'm hoping you guys know.
Ghadir Khum, he lifted up his hand and he said, Man kuntu mawla fad. Come, let's speak about it. No, he's an Asabis.
He came and
That's all you get.
about it. He got worked before with. What can you do?
But
yeah, they
in
tried.
General, do you know what made me laugh? Is that most of them, they go to, the websites, especially Ali Milani, his website.
Yeah.
Ali Milani's website is pure copy-paste. Pure copy-paste. Completely. Fully.
Ali Milani is one of the stupidest people on this planet. I'm not even joking, bro. This guy is so dumb. Like, he made a whole three or four volumes on Hadith al-Ghadir. And you know what he does? He just mentions different sources for this hadith. Like, he mentions it from Shia and Sunni books. And even when he mentions it from Sunni books, like, he would mention one chain of the hadith and mention like 50 different sources for it across like 70 pages, bro.
To try and make it like it's mutawatir.
It's son of a Romeo,
For more information, look at in their website, alislam.org. That website. Oh my God. I was laughing wallahi when I saw the whole
website, bro. Also, can we make space, if that's okay, if need be, I can drop.
Yeah.
And bring
I'll
up
drop inshallah. Because I'm gonna go
because of the
sleep.
Shia.
I'll drop.
Yalla, assalamu alaikum. Allah bless you guys. Barakallahu feekum for the lesson. That's fine.
Allah bless you, akhi.
Oh yeah.
Brother Viral, can you come up? He's a Shia.
Who?
Viral. Why did 10 people drop, man? I just said, subhanallah. One, his name's Viral. Viral posted.
Can't decide a username. Who's this guy?
Like you were talking about hadiths with 70 pages.
Yeah.
Like a book with 70 pages with hadiths.
Are you Sunni? Are you Sunni or Shia?
Sunni, I just want to ask a question.
Oh,
What's
well,
70 pages?
Like you were talking about a book with 70, not with 70 pages, but has 70 pages of like 50 narrations, right?
yeah, I think so. It's
What's the book?
it's called Nafahat al-Azhar by Ali
This
Milani.
is this Sunni or Shia scholar?
Shia book, it's bad.
So the book is trying to prove
Yeah, it's
Ghadir
very boring.
Sunni hadith.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's boring, actually. It's so
yeah, it seems familiar.
yeah.
Is this guy okay? Is he talking about me?
No, akhi.
Good.
I don't know. I think so.
He's talking about
No.
Zurar ibn Ayyam.
Okay.
Do you have any
Zurara.
questions about the episode? Or were you here?
Just I haven't I don't know. Just been thinking so much.
Thinking about what?
Overthinking. I'm just a bit stressed, man. These past few days.
May Allah make it easy for you.
May Allah make it easy for
But
you.
to be honest, I doubt. Like I don't know why I'm.
You doubt Sunni Islam?
No. Even if Shia come and completely debunks my religion, I won't be Shia. There is no way I'll be Shia.
Alhamdulillah.
Absolutely no way. I'm so confident that religion is false.
No.
But I'm talking about. I don't know. Like every time I see like a shubha, I just put it in the back of my mind and hope I'll forget it the next day. And I do a lot of the time, but over time.
Actually, if you have any questions, like any shubahat, you can ask. Like,
No, it's not that I can ask. I always think to myself, but you know the guy that always professional hater on the Telegram.
Sorry?
Professional hater on the Telegram, like on your
Professional
Telegram.
hater?
No, it's a different brother.
Yeah, I'm a professional hater on Telegram. That's why you see me asking lots of questions and yeah.
طيب, inshallah, if any
okay,
Shia is in the chat, rise up, inshallah.
If you have any questions, go ahead. If you don't, inshallah, you could rise up.
No, it's not the issue, but it's right. I'm so like 4 years ago when I got into this.
Yo, who dropped him, bro? Come on.
Who dropped him? Ayed, wallah.
That's
No,
messed
bring
up.
him back up.
That's messed up. What does it mean, bro? Like, I'd rather speak to a Sunni wa shubuhat than a filthy
Yeah,
wahabi.
wallah. Exactly.
4 years ago, like when I see one shubha, like I overthink about it a lot. But now it's just like when you do something so much that you feel it just feels natural. You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good traffic.
I don't know. Just I don't know how to explain it.
Assalam.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like you become like immune to shubahat.
Absorb it. Yeah.
Akhi, can decide. Do you have me on Telegram? My name is Khalid on Telegram. You probably see me.
I'm on the group chat.
You want to speak with me in Telegram in private if you have like something, and we can speak, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, we can
perfect.
speak, like we can organize a call with you, with the brothers, inshallah. And we can you can list out all whatever's bothering you and we can speak about it if you want. If you're comfortable with it.
Thank you very much.
No, akhi, it's all good, wallah habibi. Allah
Do you have
yabarik
him?
feek.
Do you have
Allah
him on
bless you.
the...
Yes,
Khalid, you have him?
yeah, I know him. When he mentioned the name, I know him.
Alright, done then.
I'm
Inshallah,
gonna follow
then
you.
get in contact.
I'm gonna follow you. Follow me back, inshallah. And just, if you have any questions, drop it in the DMs.
Thank you so much, guys.
No, akhi, it's all good, wallah habibi.
Like always. Okay, thanks.
Allah protect
No,
you. Protect
no worries, habibi.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
So since the Shia can't come up and defend their cult, I have a question. Do you guys know where like the pagan tradition came from like beating themselves, or Like, how did it
I
even
heard
start?
like it came from Zoroastrianism and Christianity. Like
Wasn't a
even
Prophet
today, you
Muhammad
see,
born?
even today, I
Yeah,
think there's some Christians who like crucify themselves or like I don't know.
okay, I'm gonna show you right now, because I've been wanting to show the skin, so I'll just show it now.
Okay.
So just make my screen bigger. Let me make a screen bigger. Okay. So let's see their forefathers in this. So this is Al-Imam al-Hussein, عظمه إلهية وعطاء بلا حدود, by Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad Rida al-Hussein al-Shirazi. Okay. He says, ينقل أحد الخطباء أنه في إحدى البلاد البعيدة هنالك قرية هندوسية. So there was a Hindu village. Okay, a Hindu village. وفي كل شهر محرم الحرام يقيم أهلها الهندوسيين. So every Muharram, these Hindus would basically do these things. What are they? He says, مجلس العزاء على الإمام الحسين صلوات الله عليه.
Bro.
He says these Hindus would basically, every Muharram, they would sit down and they would start doing these latmiyat for Imam al-Hussein. Okay? ويدعون الخطيب ليرتقي المنبر ويقرأ لهم المصيبة ويبكون كما نبكي نحن. Allah. He says, and they would get a khatib who would read them the stories about what happened to Al-Hussein radiallahu anh, and the tragedy of Karbala, and they would start crying just like us Shias. Just like us Shias. He says, كما نبكي نحن بل إنهم يطبخون الطعام للمعزين كما نفعل في بلادنا. He says they would even cook food and start doing all these actions that the Shias do in Muharram for their people, for the death of Al-Hussein radiallahu anh. So the forefathers of the Shias, would they follow in this? Are the Hindus? MashaAllah.
Okay, so it's from the Hindus. They copied from the Hindus or made up Hindu tribe. They
I mean, you can't copy from yourself. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
they
So
made
their
up the
actual
Hindu tribe and it
forefathers in
took
this?
from them.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. They took it from them. And يعني there's not, they're pretty much the copy of each other. So yeah. Ibn Rushd, show this guy
No,
again.
don't show to him again. Don't show
I'm
to
not
him
showing
again.
it again, yeah.
Don't show to him again. Until you come up like the dog you are, we're not gonna show you. Like yesterday, he was asking me to show about Muslim ibn Aqil again. I was like, nope, not gonna happen. You miss it once, that's
Bro,
it.
this is sad, ya akhi. Like their own scholars are admitting they follow Hindus. They're like, just like us, yani, we're all lovey-dovey, we're all akhwan at the end of the day, but the Sunnis, yeah, they're kuffar.
And just to answer about the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, the same hadith, even though it's weak, it responds to you and it says that I did this when I was young and foolish, and that she regrets doing it.
It shows that even Aisha radiallahu anha herself saw that this
If
was
you have
something that was
rujula,
wrong.
I have more rujula than your third imam, that mushrik, who had his women sent as concubines. The guy was probably took Sistani's tranny fatwa. He didn't have a pair.
Leave him. This guy, he's a kid on an alt account. He thinks he got it all figured out, bro. This guy says that 24/7.
When was the last time you saw like a Shia debate, Christian or atheist?
Never.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
No, like a month ago, one of the best Shias, like that person, he even wrote a book, and he came up like trying to think that he's smart and all of this. Abu Hassan or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Abu Hassan.
You see the brother Ibn Awisi. Wallah al-Azim, I'm gonna be honest. There are some Shia I think that they're probably smart, and I thought that guy is smart, but I have ever seen like Ibn Awais, like like wiping the floor with the Shias, the way that he wiped the floor with that person. Wallah al-Azim. The guy got literally destroyed, bro. Like you seen like chicken when you throw the chicken in the water and you take it out. Abu Hassan was the same. Allah.
Yeah, it's on YouTube if you guys want to watch it on the S2K YouTube channel.
Yeah.
The guy was kind Ibn Awais, please, like, oh, be a man, wallah.
The problem.
41E2E. If you want to see the scan again, wallah, if you come up, I'll show it again.
How will you feel? Like, how do you feel when you see like two types of Christian, like let's say Catholic, a Protestant, going at it together. Like you feel some sort of joy because like they're debunking each other. So that shows that both are false. And you just imagine that a Christian sees us in Shia constantly debating, always debating, and we're even more vulgar.
But the problem is,
And
Protestants
even,
and Catholics are both Christians. The Shias are not Muslim. We're
yeah,
Muslim.
like let's say if I come to when the Protestants and Catholic and even Orthodox, when I come to them and I insult and criticize their faith, like I say Jesus wasn't God, all of them will team up against me. But if a Sunni and Shia is arguing and a Christian or an Islamophobe comes to attack Islam as a whole, the Shia will team up with the Islamophobe. So, and the problem with it is that, like, how will the Christian feel when he sees both of us arguing and he sees the Shia teaming up with the Christian? He'll feel more confident in his faith.
With all due respect,
because
I could care less about what the Christian thinks about what we do. Because at the end of the day, all these people are in the same basket. These people are not Muslim, right? We could care less about what they have to say.
ملة الكفر
We
واحد.
also care less about what the Shias have to say. We Ahl Sunnah don't need anyone to support us. Alhamdulillah, we're good by ourselves and we're stepping on every single religion and every single sect that tries to contradict Ahl Sunnah. Wallahi alhamd. So we don't need a team up with Shias against Christians to refute Christians. Ahl Sunnah have been refuting Christians before Shias even existed. So we don't need them, and nor do we need the Christians to team up against us, team up with us against the Shias.
Now the Shias and Christians, they team up together. Not so long ago, I was debating a
Shias
Christian.
are so weak, they don't know how to refute Ahl Sunnah, and that's why they have to side with their kuffar brothers.
Yeah, not so long ago, I was debating a Christian, and then he said, "Let me bring him. He'll explain it to you." He brought a Shia. I started laughing because I was like, it's just how funny how they're working together with the Christians.
Yeah, we don't need the Ash'ara to refute the Christians. We don't need the Khawarij to refute the Shia. We don't need the Ash'ara to refute the Shia. We, alhamdulillah, we have our books, and we have access to their books. That's all we need.
I know it's not about me. It's how like the Christian feels like he'll turn away from Islam more because when I see like a Unitarian Christian or a heretic attack another Christian, I feel more confident in my religion.
I mean,
and like it's turning more people away from
as much as he wants. Okay, the thing is, look, because even if we were to say, for example, we're not going to refute the Shias in front of the Christians, right? The Shias are going to end up giving the same shubuhat. They're going to give these same arguments to the Christians against us, or the opposite, right? The Christians are going to give it to the Shias. So at the end of the day, he's going to feel confident either way that Ahl Sunnah may be not correct, right? But when he sees Ahl Sunnah stepping on the Shias, and then when the Christian opens his mouth, he also gets stepped on. He obviously is not going to be confident. He's going to be confident that Shias are upon falsehood, and he's going to be confident that he's upon falsehood. And that's what exactly.
I have like two arguments against, or three against Shias, and one of like two big ones that I think completely destroys that faith. One of them is that there is no like Islam. There is no Islamic identity. There's Shia first, Muslim second. Like I know to you they're not Muslim, but I'm talking about them, how they consider themselves. Like they're Shia first. You will identify as Sunni, even if he doesn't talk about his sect, but if he only posts about Allah or the Prophet, you'll know he's a Sunni. But the Shia will immediately let you know he's a Shia. They're Shia first, Muslim second, and this is shown throughout history because they haven't done anything.
I have to disagree. Because the Shia will never tell you he's a Shia unless it's online. If it's even online, they even try to hide it.
But
these guys will never tell you they're Shia.
Yeah, come on your real account. Yani Aqidah crisis boy. You changed your Aqidah like 5 different times. Like come on your
I I live in Kuwait.
Bro, all the mods are look at the mods, bro. Yeah, why don't you guys offer him a cup of tea as well and والله, bro.
Taka ودرعية, huh?
Yeah, Kuwait.
Let's see what happened after that to your boys, to your Ottoman boys. But what were you saying, Akhi?
Kuwait.
Yeah, of course.
Like Kuwait, I live in Kuwait. I'm Kuwaiti, and there is a lot of Shias in Kuwait, and I think the Shia in Kuwait are by far the best when you compare them to Iraqi or Iranis, and especially Lebanese, and they're more moderates.
Yeah.
So that's my experience. Anyways, did you like have a real life experience with Shias, or do you live in an area where there is no Shia, or you live in a country?
Exactly. Yeah, I did. But as I told you, he was Shia. So it was actually, it wasn't some layman. It was basically, he's a famous Shia Sheikh. Muhammad could tell you.
Yeah. Also, another thing that's like been bothering me is that us, the Sunnah, have never treated the Shia the same way the Shia have treated us. Like they always keep complaining about us oppressing them, but we've never oppressed them the same way they oppressed us, and that's what bothers me. Because I know they're a minority, but how can we allow them to treat us this way? Like,
how do they treat us exactly?
historically, like during the Safavid Empire and even currently in Iran, the Shia majority, they make your life a living hell. And
who told
I think mostly
who told you we let them do this? What happened to the Safavid Empire after what they did?
Hotakis owned them.
What happened?
Hotakis, Afghans.
Yeah, they got overthrown. They got absolutely destroyed by Herson.
But the damage was already done.
Only in books. The damage was done in books, not يعني
like the damage that
they spread their influence. Sure, that's the only reason why 12ers are alive today. But other than that, look at them. Iraq, not until 20 years ago, was controlled by Sunni. Iran was secular. Nobody, like, there was a time when nobody was proud to be a Shia. Like, Iran was secular, khalas. Iraq was controlled by Sunni. I mean, you had like bits and bits here, khalas, but like their influence.
The Safavid Empire wasn't even upon the Aqidah of the Twelvers. Most of them were upon the Aqidah of the Ismailis. So they spread the wrong theology in the first place.
I think you're talking about the Fatimids, not Safavids. Safavids were 12.
No,
and they even like persecuted other forms of Shia that weren't 12.
No. A lot of Safavids as well, they were Ismailis.
I think there was one.
Is there any Shia in the live, Akhwan? Please, if anyone has super mod, check if there's Shia in the live. Allah barik fikum.
It doesn't look like it.
I think they got scared after Eid al-Khadir.
And by the way, remember one thing, inshallah, you go to the S2K profile and you have YouTube channel there. Subscribe, inshallah, and watch the videos. You have the videos, the Muharram's videos, you have the Ghadir, you have the debates there, so benefit from there, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair.
Oh, yeah, habibi.
Yeah.
Bro, it's so sad to see a lot of this. They make big claims, they say big words, but they aren't able to defend their religion.
Like, you know, imagine, a part of this. Yeah, go ahead, Akhi.
Yeah, I was just trying to mention. Imagine, like, for example, you have brothers like S2K, Ibn Owiz, M24, General, and the rest of the brothers. May Allah bless them. If any Shia, for example, offer them to debate in the topic that they want, I'm gonna be honest, they will run like Muhammad 24, General. couple weeks ago, they went to their lives. They don't want to debate in their lives. Wallah, like the problem is like we are begging them to debate in the topic that it's good for them. And it's crazy, wallah, that those people are not man enough to prove their religion. Like, subhanallah. This shows you how weak their religion and how weak their books are.
Yeah, I think another very important point to mention is that the reason why one of the big reasons why we're doing these Muharram series is to defend Al-Hussein radiallahu anhu. Because the way the Shia, as mentioned, as put forward by the brothers the last few days, how the Shia portrayed Al-Hussein radiallahu anh in a very disgusting, very cowardice, very يعني psychopathic way. And this is not the Hussein that we Ahlul Sunnah believe in. This is not how we portray him. This is not how we view him. So a big reason why we do this is in defense of Al-Hussein radiallahu anh and the Ahlul Bayt from these accusations that these scholars, one scholar saying that he wanted to unalive himself, another scholar saying that, his women being captured, this is what Allah wanted. Another scholar saying that, the women being captured and, traveling around the world so people can see their beauty, etc. This is not how we view Al-Hussein radiallahu anh. So this is why we say it's very ironic when the Shia come and they say we are Nasabis, we are the this and that. In reality, Wallahi al-Azim, they are the Nasibis. They are the ones, they are like the Christians who view Isa alayhi salam. They claim they love him, they claim they honor him, they claim they glorify him. But in reality, they hate him because they have given them a position, they have given them positions in history that wasn't ascribed to them. And this is exactly the same with the Shia, with the Ahlul Bayt. They claim they love them, they claim they honor them, but they throw these accusations like Al-Hussein radiallahu anh, like Ali radiallahu anh, like Al-Hasan. And you can just name each Imam after that they believe in, and you can find from their books instances where you can say this individual was a coward, this individual was a zani, wal-'iyadhu billah. So, like I said, the main reason we do this is, yes, to show the flaws in their books, and also to defend these personalities that we revere. And unfortunately, as you can see, the last few days, not a single Shia has come up and defended this position or pointed out anything that any claim that we've made was a lie. You seen Muhammad yesterday when we were calling him out for about an hour. What were they saying in the comments? What was
Just
their
talking
reply?
about the Prophet's wives.
Talking about the Prophet's wives. Aisha radiallahu anha. This is your religion, Allah. Filthy, disgusting religion.
But their religion is built in talking about Aisha radiallahu anha, Abu Bakr Siddiq
That's
radiallahu
it.
anha, Umar
Yeah.
radiallahu anha. So, خلاص. The rest, it doesn't matter.
Hate
Like the
based
scholar saying
religion.
that the Imam are the youth, the Imam are like they God changed the mind and all of this filthy stuff. They
Yeah.
cannot defend this, and they go to the attacking Sayyidina Aisha radiallahu anha. Like, wallah, leave it, bro. Well, like we open like today or like last 2 days, we opened a live about what the Muharram, and we spoke about Al Hussein radiallahu anhu. Have any of the brothers in the panel brought up Narjis? I haven't heard a brother in the panel speaking about Narjis. Wallah al-Azim, our religion is not based attacking like just one of two of your figures. We attack the whole ideology of your religion. We throw it in the bin like how it is, the place where it belongs.
Yo, Muhammad.
Religion is based on hate, hate everything, hate this person, hate that person. It's never how you can get closer to Allah, how you can be a better Muslim. It's always hate this person, hate that person, and worship this person and worship that person. I haven't seen any real aqidah from them, you know?
What were you saying, Lewis?
Your favorite friend is here.
Who?
I invited him.
Who?
Big.
Oh,
Does she
my
feel-
son. My son. Mahid al-Rafi, come here. Come here, come here. Be a good boy. Come. I want to give you a pat on the head. Little list boy.
كشيف الغطاء.
الكشيف الغطاء. For Sunni books, you can use many, like Noor book, there's Waqifiyya, there's many. It's not just one website that you can use. Play the clip. Wallah, I'm laying down on the bed right now until any Shia comes up, so I'm gonna have to get up for that.
Yeah, bro, I'm about to close this computer.
It's pretty unfortunate not seeing any Shias come up. I was hoping for Shias to come up and defend their code, but
Bring up, there's the Shia that viral here. تفضل.
Yeah, let's
Like
what's the
salam.
topic?
It's Muharram.
Like a specific question?
أخوة, do you have a
Yes.
specific question? He's a respectful guy. So inshallah,
Okay. So,
take it easy.
so let's do the first question. So Muhammad, if you could bring up the nation, because I literally just started updating my computer right now.
You can just
so
say the topic. Like
Okay.
you don't need to show.
Do you know about the wasiyah that was given to Ali ibn Abi Talib? The covenants? To
Which
remain
one?
patient.
Oh
To
yeah,
remain
yeah.
patient. Yeah. So in this wasiyah, the Prophet said to Ali ibn Abi Talib to remain patient even if the Kaaba were to be destroyed, even if the Quran were to be ripped apart, even if the Sunan of the Prophet ﷺ were to be paused, and even if his beard were to be dripping from blood from how much he was tortured. And he said that he accepts this wasiyah and he accepts this covenant. And the Prophet ﷺ also said this covenant to Hassan, Hussein, and Fatima, and they all accepted it, right? So Hussein, he accepted this wasiyah to remain patient, even if all these things were to happen. Yet he still disobeyed this wasiyah by going out in Karbala and going against Yazid and didn't remain patient. Rather, he went to take his revenge.
What's the like authenticity of the wasiyah?
It's
authentic.
Like I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's in Kitab al-Kafi. And Majid says it's
What-
mu'tabar.
Muhammad
What جزء?
that it's mu'tabar.
Sorry, Akhi Ibn Awais, is there any chance you can fix your mic? It's a bit muffled.
Okay, 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better. Jazakallah khair.
Yeah.
Wait, I can try to bring it up right now if you can tell me like the volume and the like book it's in.
Yeah, Muhammad, can you tell him? Because wallah, my computer's closed, I swear.
Because in volume 3 it's just about like taharat, menses, people dying,
Actually,
praying,
no.
zakat.
It's a different print. Different print.
What?
It's a different print.
Yeah, I have it up on
Why,
Thaqalain.
you want to pull it up from Thaqalain?
Yeah, I'll try looking at it.
No, Thaqalain does at least. So they basically mention Al-Majlisi saying it's ضعيف على المشهور, but they don't mention that he says لكنه معتبر. So ضعيف al-mashhur from Al-Majlisi means that other scholars say that it's ضعيف, but the view of Al-Majlisi is that it's معتبر. They don't put that Al-Majlisi believes it's معتبر.
So is there like
You can find it in Mar'at al-Uqul, volume 3, page 193.
do you have like the Thaqalain reference so I can like read the narration?
Yeah. I
Because
got
my
it.
not good.
1 second, let me see if I can pull it up. Let's go to history.
If it's in volume 1, I can just find the like page because I have the book card.
No, I got it, sir. Okay. So it's volume 1, book 4, chapter 61, hadith 4. It's a very long
Is it?
narration.
All right, 1 second.
I can show it to you right here.
No, I can bring it up.
Alright.
Is it the one that starts with Ahmed ibn Muhammad and Muhammad bin Yahya narrated from? That
No,
one?
no.
It's
No,
right
it's
here.
not.
I have it pulled up.
It's Hussein bin Muhammad al-Ashari and Mu'alla bin Muhammad.
Is it Hadith 2?
Four.
Oh, 4. Sorry.
It's there if you. Oh,
I could read it for you if you want, but
Can I read it?
you could bring it up.
Can I read it real quick and like
Yeah,
unmute
yeah.
after? Alright, give me a minute.
Alright, I can talk to him for like 2 minutes. I'm gonna be right back. Just give me 1 second.
It's gonna take more than 2 minutes to read it. It's long.
Yeah, but this guy is he's a bahith. He's like the brothers have spoken to him, and he, inshallah, he's on his way. He's on his way, inshallah. If inshallah, when
And
Ibn
by the
Awais
way, the
comes back,
Rawafidis were joined with the fake accounts. Like, you don't need to do that, wallah. Just come up with your own account, wallah. Because we all know that you guys are scared.
they're scared of you, Khalid, bro.
Nah, bro, wallah. They are
Yeah,
scared because of you guys.
mashallah. No, not you, bro. Allahumma barik.
Nah, wallah, habibi jahannam.
But now the Albanians, they can get a bit, you know, when they're angry, they say red.
No, we are peaceful, wallah.
Mafiosos.
Nah, bro. The Rawafidi 313 yapping in the comments. But anyway, تفضل, Byron.
Yes, I
Go
skimmed
ahead,
over
brother.
it. It's what you said.
Yes.
Like near the
What's
end, he calls for Al Fatima Al Hassan Al Hussein, and then he informs them. But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
is Majlisi the only scholar to authenticate this? Because like here it says Da'if.
He says ضعيف
But
على
you guys said
المشهور.
he authenticated
ضعيف
it.
على المشهور. You
He
know
says
ضعيف على المشهور.
لكنه معتبر. So he says
I don't
لكن
know this.
معتبر. If you open up in مرآة العقول, and he even says in the bottom that because this is a problematic narration, we hide it from the Amma, and it's only for خصوص الشيعة, which is in مرآة العقول.
I'll take a note of it.
I mean,
But
it's mentioned in Layali Bishawir, and Shirazi says that there's many riwayat of the Ahlul Bayt saying this, and he mentions this narration from Kitab al-Kafi.
Yeah, I'll look into this one. It's a interesting argument.
you understand the argument, yeah?
Yeah. The argument is that this hadith contradicts what Imam Hussein did, which means he's not infallible.
Son. Yes.
Is there like weakness in the chain? Because I'm not like good with like the ilm al-rijal stuff.
One second.
Well, I don't know if the brothers have the scan and I got the narration.
One second. حسين ابن محمد الأشعري.
Alright, I'm back. Did you finish reading it?
Yeah. He was asking because it says, I think ضعيف على المشهور or something, but ولكنه معتبر. So he's
Yeah.
saying, what's the
Okay,
weakness in the...
here, so
What's
first
the what?
here,
Wait, Muhammad, wait. What general did you say? Last part?
He said, what is the weakness? What is the weakness in the hadith?
Oh, you guys asked him that.
No. He's asking us.
Oh, it's Mu'allim ibn Muhammad. They try to weaken him. Back or refute that easily.
yeah, everyone else is thiqa. I went through it. First narrator Jawahari says he's Al-Jawahari, sorry, he says he's thiqa. Ahmed Muhammad thiqa. Harith ibn Ja'far thiqa. Ali ibn Ismail thiqa. The rest of them are thiqa all the way up until Musa ibn Ja'far. Musa al-Kalam.
I think like the next hadith kind of builds off of it. Talks about, say, like hadith 5.
What does it say?
It's like basically like Imam Hussein in general. Like the Prophet goes to give him news about his death.
Okay, how
And
does
then
that
he read
refute?
like the document. No, I think it's like elaborating onto it.
Okay,
And
so what's the
like,
answer?
like he gave he came out to the face of the enemy, and of the matters that were not yet complete was that the angels had asked Allah to grant them permission to support Al-Hussein against his enemies.
Yeah, okay, so
I
what's
think
the point behind this? Because it still doesn't refute the fact
I
that he
don't know if I
found
cut out. Did I cut out?
Yeah. What are you saying?
Am I cutting out like the connection?
No,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
good right now. Right now, you're good.
Well,
What were you saying?
and it's like I was like maybe he shouldn't put that much reservation. I've never seen it.
Okay, so I mean that's something to look at.
Try to read more into it.
Alright, inshallah. So when you get
Is there
an
like
answer.
another question?
Oh yeah, there's another question.
that
By the way,
narration-
Hadith
second
5 is weak.
Is weak, yeah, because of
Yeah.
Abdullah ibn Abdul Rahman al-Asl. He's weak.
Yeah. Even a Majesty Greater weak. But anyways, so the second question of the live was, why did Al-Hussein radiallahu anh, take his women and children with him, knowing that they will be taken as concubines and that they will be killed? And he knew with certainty that this would happen to them if he took them with him on the way to Kufa.
Yes, I read it. Depends on like there's different view on how much al-ghaib the imams had. Because Darajat, like a hadith that talks about what's it called? It talks about like ar-rida. Sorry, wait, give me 1 second, I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay.
But here, look.
Because
If you look at,
you know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
That narration is weak.
it's weak, and we
the
can show
narration of
you a
Ar-Rida,
contradictory one of Sadiq saying the opposite. But
it
look,
has Ibn Mughira, who's Majhul.
look, this is Al-Imam wa Qiyadat al-Mujtama' by Ayatollah Sayyid Kalam al-Ha'ari. Okay? He mentions about Al-Hussein going out and all that stuff and the reasons that scholars give. He gives this khulasa that's very, very long. I'll give you his summary. He says, وَحَقًّا أن الإمام الحسين قد خرج من أجل هذه الأهداف ولكنه كان يعلم مسبقا بأنه لا يستطيع تحقيقها وأنه سيقتل. So he did know that he was going to get unalived. وتسبى نساؤه, and his women were taken as concubines. ومع ذلك خرج ليؤكد مبدأ الشهادة. And he still went out to become a shaheed. And this is why he mentions in his page, 179th page, he says, أما ظواهر النصوص التي كانت تصدر من الحسين عليه السلام مما يشير إلى أن الهدف هو إقامة الحكم الإسلامي، فقد وجهها أستاذنا الشهيد رحمة الله تعالى عليه بالتوجيه التالي، وهو أن الإمام الحسين عليه السلام حينما كان هدفه من الشهادة وهو هز ضمير الأمة، so he wanted to become a شهيد to shake up the أمة وشحذ إرادتها، فلا فائدة عندئذ من عنونة عمله بالشهادة فقط، لأن عنوان الشهادة لا يكفي بمفرده تحقيق ذلك الهدف. Look what he says here. He says وكان ممكنا أن يقال عنه بأنه ذهب لكي ينتحر. It could be said that Al-Hussein, right, went to go and do this word. Do you know what this word means? Intihar.
Yeah, unalive himself.
Unalive himself.
There you
Right?
go. So that's
he
the
did
point.
know. He did
the
know.
point is that he did know that this would happen, and also let me show you something. So this is موسوعة الإمام السيد عبد الحسين شرف الدين الموسوي. He says وكان الحسين عليه السلام بأبي هو وأمي على يقين من ترتب هذه الآثار الشريفة على قتله وانتهاب رحله وذبح أطفاله وسبي عياله. Says Al-Hussein was upon certainty of the consequences that would befall upon him by going on this way, and that his caravans were to be stolen, and that he would be unalived, and that his children would be unalived, and that his women would be taken as concubines. So he was upon yaqeen. He knew this with certainty.
What's the English name of this book? I want to pull it up.
The English name of what?
The book.
Or the book? Okay, so this is a mawsu'a of the books of Abd Hussein Sharafuddin al-Musawi, but the book that this is in Al-Kalimat al-Gharra fi Tafdil al-Zahra and Al-Majalis al-Fakhira fi Ma'atim al-Ita al-Tahira. So this is the book actually, the second one.
Sorry, Viral,
I don't think it's in
you
English.
don't speak Arabic?
Go ahead.
Do you speak Arabic? Do you understand Arabic? Like, read?
A very tiny bit. I'm starting to take courses better.
Yeah, inshallah,
better.
may Allah guide you and make it easy on you.
To be honest, I don't know any of this stuff with the Hussein and all.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Ibn Awais, Ibn Awais, akhi. I don't know if you guys, if you have a maybe 10 minutes or 5-10 minutes, right? But it's off topic. Do you guys mind if I speak about it?
Let me just mention one more thing, and inshallah.
Okay, mention it. Inshallah. No worries. Okay.
So, Viral, I heard that you never heard about this, and you probably don't know the answer, which is what I assume. But the thing is, first, there's two things. There is no answer, as Sayyid Nabil Husseini says, that knowing the wisdom behind this is impossible. أقرب إلى المستحيل. It's impossible to know why he did this. And if you still have a question and you still want to know, it's disrespectful to ask. As Lutfullah al-Galbigani says, he says asking this question is disrespectful. لأننا نعتبرها خلاف الأدب. This is something disrespectful to ask this question. And even if you were to ask the question, he still doesn't know the answer. So your scholars already stick you to this. They don't know. But yeah.
Akhi Ibn Awais, so the brother here, Viral, posted, he was on my live yesterday. And he's been really looking into the subject of the 12th Imam, right?
Yeah.
And he's been looking for narrations to prove his walada, or his existence, and he came across the narration of it's in Al-Kafi, where they came to him and they asked, I think, who was it? Hassan al-Askari, that, do you have a son? He's like, yeah, he's in Al-Madinah. Do you know that narration?
Yeah, long narration.
No, it's very short.
So,
no, I don't know about that one. If it's short, I don't know. But
the one says, okay, he's in Al-Madinah and go and find him.
Yeah, but I mean, what's it called? The scholars already spoke about this. Like, the scholars I'm pretty sure it was, I forgot his name.
Al-Bahbudi.
Yeah. No, not
But
Al-Bahbudi. It was a
Kamal
different.
al-Haydari.
No, it was something that Kamal Haydari's transmitted. So Kamal Haydari, he says that all these narrations are weak. Pretty sure it was Ashraf Muhsini, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, he weakens all the narration in Kitab al-Kafi about, what's it called? The Mahdi being born.
There's like
Can you give me the reference?
yeah, it's Al-Kafi Volume 1, Book 4, Chapter 76.
Volume 1, Book 4?
Yeah, like because I have it on Thaqalain, but on the hard print, it's gonna be page 318.
Book 4, chapter what?
Chapter 76.
Okay, hadith number what?
2.
2.
It's really short. It's like 2 sentences. But this is just to prove that he had a son, and then we can go further from it.
You know, the brother that was speaking to you yesterday, Doctor, he made a good point. He's like, the narrator of this, the one that asked Al-Hasan, was from the greatest companions of Hasan al-Askari, right?
Yeah.
And he said if he was from the greatest companions and he was a student of Imam Hasan al-Askari and the 12 Imams were known to these Imams, why is he asking him in the first place?
He's just asking him if he has a son, because I don't believe that. Okay, I don't believe all the Imams' names are mutawatir, because it's not true.
No,
So
like,
how did? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Because even if you believe it's not mutawatir, you believe that this narration was said and it was a singular narration that was only said to the close Shias, to the Imam, to the close companions, right?
No, I think you misunderstood that.
Abi Hisham al-Ja'fari is a close companion of al-Askari, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was supposed to know about this narration, these singular narrations of the Imams being named, since he was from the Khawas of the Imam. Yeah, he's still asking him about it. Which is a good point that General made. Even though I haven't really stumbled upon this narration in the first place.
What I'm saying is though, like the 12 Imams' names, like they're not mutawatir. Like we don't have mutawatir hadith naming the Imam from Ali to the Mahdi.
Yeah, I understand. But I'm saying there's singular narrations that said this, correct?
Yeah.
And these singular
It's
narrations.
like there's one in Al-Hid.
Yeah. These singular narrations were only transmitted to the close companions of the Imam. And Abi Hisham al-Ja'fari is a close companion of the Imam, so he should have heard about the singular narration of naming the Imams. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you could also say like he didn't see it because it's Al-Jawad who's narrating it.
Wait, what?
Al-Jawad is the one who's like narrating that hadith of Al-Adab.
I'm not talking about the one
like
in
Imam
Al-Jawad specifically. Yeah, but I'm not talking about the one in Al-Kafi specifically. In fact, Abi Hisham al-Ja'fari narrates the narration of Al-Jawad, by the way. So he should have known about this.
1 second.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Didn't know. Like, my point is, like, we have hadiths proving he had a son.
No, Hisham al-Ja'fari, he narrates the hadith of al-Jawad. So he 100% knew about it. So it's either that narration is false, or this narration is false. There's no third option.
Let me think.
I could pull it up if you want. Yeah.
No, I believe you.
Yeah.
Can you figure out? I'm trying to figure out which Muhammad ibn Yahya this is.
It's Al-Attar.
No, it's not Muhammad. Yeah. It's the teacher of Al-Kulaini.
Yeah.
You know, Wallahi, I'll be honest with you, Ikhwa. It is so refreshing to speak to a Shia that actually understands or he knows a bit about his books, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean.
And which
sometimes
Ahmad ibn Ishaq with us?
I don't know which one to be honest. Wait, hold on. I'm not sure. But yeah, wait, what's it called? I remember the name of the scholar. It was Haydar Hibballah. If you're aware of him.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, I wouldn't say he's a mainstream Shiite, but he's how do you say it? Not a reformist either, but he's like,
Bro,
he's a sushi, as you would say.
I would probably say like he affirms the what's it called? Where is it? He testifies that he testifies to the Imam of the Mahdi, and then he's also confirming the belief by asking if he has a son.
Wait,
Because sorry, he probably believes in the 12 Imams in this Al-Hadr narration, and then you could say that what's it called? He's just confirming his belief with Al-Askari that he has a son.
why does he need to confirm it?
Yo,
Maybe he had a shubha.
Huh?
Maybe he had a shubha.
He had a shubha, but he had a clear narration from the Imam though. Why would he have a shubha?
Yo, Abu Hanifa, no job.
wait your turn. Wait your turn.
No, wait, bro.
Abu Hanifa, there's no.
Abu Hanifa.
يا لاوي
Yo, shut
just be لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
Just don't bring these people up, bro. But I was saying, if what's it called? Why would he have a shubha if he had from the Imam?
Yeah, I gave a stupid response. Yeah.
It's not stupid. I get you trying.
Can we weaken the Al-Hadr narration? Yeah. Can we weaken the narration from Al-Barqi?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to do that, but that's gonna be even more problematic.
So the narration.
It's up to you if you want to weaken it.
The narration.
Okay, but now you're gonna be left with let's say khalas, you proved that the Mahdi was born. Okay, now
yeah, we don't have authentic narrations by the Imams name by name.
What happened?
We don't have any authentic narrations like the Imam name by name.
Yeah, okay, so now there's a big problem.
Any single
you're gonna have to go through each Imam. You're gonna have to go through each Imam and prove his Imamah. Ali ibn Talib, Hassan, Hussein, Zain al-Abidin, Baqir, Sadiq, Qadim, etc., etc. So, to be honest with you, you're not getting past Ali ibn Talib, to be fair. So, even if you prove the Mahdi was born, right, you still have to prove Ali ibn Talib, Hassan, Hussein, etc., until the end we're proven as Imams, right? And that's not something that's pretty much impossible. But also, even if we were to say, because there is a view of Ahl Sunnah that Al-Hasan al-Askari did have a son, right? And that he died young. So this is also a factor, right? That is, he had a son, but he died young. How do we know he's the Imam? You still have to prove it. And you can't prove it from the 12 names that were named in that narration, so it's weakened.
There's a lot more narrations that I think can prove. The first
Ibn
one
Awais.
have to...
quick thing inshallah.
Wait, 1 second.
Okay, تفضل.
No, I just had to put my phone on charge, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, remember a week ago, 2 weeks ago probably, when we spoke about the characteristics of the Imams, that you mentioned 10 of them. Two of them were that the Imam are known to the people. And the second is that when you ask about that Imam, everyone knows about him. And the thing is, even if you want to take this narration, here's the thing. The Imam must be known to the people. For example, the 12th Imam, he must be known to the people. And the second is, if you ask people, they will know even in the time of the 11th Imam. For example, even if you ask the people on the time of Ali ibn Abi Talib, who's going to be the second Imam, they'll give you an answer. But here inside of this narration is that the closest companion of the 11th Imam, he doesn't know who's the 12th Imam.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It contradicts everything.
Khalid.
Yes.
Habibi, I just want to speak to this guy real quick, and then we'll send him to the comments.
Yeah.
What's your name? Shaykh al-Islam al-Tahawi. You said there's no jarh on Abu Hanifa?
No, there's no taken jar. I said no taken jar. There's no jar.
Jar? What, like neighbor or like?
No, there's no jar that is taken.
Jar means neighbor, habibi.
Muhammad, it's not good to talk about this right now. Wait till the shit.
والله
No.
والله محمد
There's no عيب in it. There's no عيب in it, اخوة. There's no
مش
عيب.
عيب مش عيب انه فين عم نحكي بموضوع
It's
ثاني.
about حكمة. It's about حكمة.
Okay, Shaykh al-Islam Tahawi, once we're done speaking to the Shi'i, stay on the live.
Yeah.
Stay on the live.
Yeah, viral posted. Inshallah, you can ponder upon those points. And also, if you want the third question, since like the first two, you still need to look into them.
Alright, so there's a line, there's a...
Yeah. Wait, what?
If viral, your internet is good, but it cuts out every now and then. Can you fix that?
Yeah. Let me turn on my data.
Yeah, do something because inshallah, this is a good conversation.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
B, shut the hell up, bro.
Yo, behave.
He's talking to me.
He dropped. Okay, until the guy comes back. Until the guy comes back, yo. Yo, what? You said jar? You said Abu Hanifa had no jar? Yo, boy.
Imagine I'm saying this is a good conversation, and this guy says shut the hell up.
Yo, what book is this? Yo, jar. Boy, what book is this?
Don't be quiet like your God. Like answer the question.
Yo, Khalid, shut up, bro.
Man, listen.
Khalid, just so we can go back to the Shi'i quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
What book is this?
I don't care about that book, bro.
You don't care about the books? Wow, you don't care about your...
That's how you show, bro. You be quoting everything out of context.
Wait, really? Oh, wait. So you reject the books of Al-Lalaka'i? Wow. You're rejecting the books of Al-Lalaka'i?
You don't care about the Salaf.
Anyways,
this guy is
this
is not from the Salaf.
One second. This is شرح أصول اعتقاد أهل السنة والجماعة by Al-Lalaka'i. Okay. He mentions a فصل about Hammad ibn Abi Sulaiman. He says أخبرنا محمد ibn عبيد الله ibn حجاج ثنى محمد ibn عبد الله ibn إبراهيم ثنى محمد ibn يونس قال ثنى درار ibn صور قال حدثني سليم المقرئ قال ثنى
Yo, retard in the comments, bro. Retard in the comments.
Bro, stop speaking. Listen, bro. Just focus on the screen. والله.
قال لي حماد بن أبي سليمان أبلغ عني أبا حنيفة المشرك أني بريء منه. Okay, so is this jar or what is this? Is this jar or soda? Like what is this?
No jar of Abu Hanifa is taken.
So what is this? He just called him he just called Abu Hanifa a mushrik.
It is not taken.
What are you doing? Kalam nafsi?
And also,
like what is that?
Yo, talk to Imam. Shut the hell up. Talk to Imam.
Bro, please get send this guy down, bro. Please, عشان Allah.
Now you have a shubha. Now you have a shubha in your heart. Go to sleep. Go back.
حشوف ونام.
If you have shubha over Abu Hanifa, you have a problem. But anyways, so yeah, viral. What were you saying?
Yeah. So there's a short hadith in Kamal ad-Din. It's like statements of the Prophet on the occultation. And then the Prophet, he basically says, it's from my sons. His name is my name, and his kunya is my kunya. He is of all people the most similar to me in his form and character. There will be an occultation and a perplexity regarding him until the people go astray from their religions. At that time, he will then appear like a shooting star and fill the earth with equity and justice. And then it's just ending with that. It's like athaq. So like, if we believe, sorry?
Muwathaq according to who?
The guy who compiled the book is named Bilal Muhammad. It's like an English compiled book about the 12th Imam.
Okay, do you have the chain on your by any chance or no?
I'm opening it up again.
Alright.
Sorry, I didn't read it like on computer, so I have to pull it up on the book.
No, it's okay.
It's my father and Ibn Walid and Ibn al-Mutwakkil together narrated from Sa'ad and wait, do you have anything I can like take a picture and send to?
Yeah, I mean, you can send it to my Telegram. My Telegram is, if you have Telegram, it's Ibn_Awais. That's it.
Anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna head out for a little, inshallah. If you guys need me, or like,
What time is it for you?
7:30.
Huh?
7:30.
7:30? It was 2:30 a.m. for me.
Okay.
It's 1:30 for me.
Okay, got it.
I say the narration.
Okay, let me see. Okay.
Ibn Umayyah are cursed. Tree in Tafsir al-Qamar by Ijma' of Ahl Sunnah. Okay, come up.
Wow.
Tafsir al-Tamarind?
Mandarin, Tafsir al-Mandarin. Come up.
Yeah, Chinese
But
tafsir.
like the point I wanted to like bring that narration up is if there's a hadith saying Al-Askari had a son, then we can like then assume his son is named Muhammad because of that hadith.
Okay.
But like even then, the Shia at the time, it was not permissible to like say his name out loud.
Okay, but even if we were to say that it was Muhammad, right, and that was his son, how are you gonna say that he's the Imam? You still have to prove he's the Imam as well. But I have even what's it called? What this narration? Just give me 1 second, guys. It's still loading for me.
Alright. Could I answer like how we would know he's the Imam though?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Alright. So we have like in Kitab Ghaib by al-Tusi, we have the Imam, he's like, after me, go to Uthman al-Amiri and like take, like whatever he tells you, take it from him. So like let's say the ambassador of the Imam, Mahdi, he was already like praised by the previous Imams and he's testifying to Imam Mahdi's Imamah. So that could also be like a proof for it.
No, but the thing is, what are the conditions that are for the Imam? The Imam is supposed to be directly appointed by the Prophet. Yeah. So even if we're to take that this person was the one who we should trust in this, right?
Yeah.
You still have to have a clear appointment from the Prophet.
Can it be from the previous Imam?
No, that's a big problem because what the Shia's answer to this is that they say that if it's from the previous Imam, it's because the Imam, his words are the Imam of his forefather until the Prophet, right? Now the thing is, this rule is completely messed up because firstly, this rule is not even proven in the books authentically, right? There's no authentic narration about Hadith Abi, Hadith Jaddi, okay? Now, even if we were to say that the Imam appointed him, right? You would still have to bring proof that he appointed him, not just him sending his ambassador or one of his deputies to say, oh, this guy, you should trust him, and this guy says that he's the Imam, therefore he's the Imam. You know what I mean? And
yeah, but like
there's many other factors that haven't been applied with regards to the Imam. If you want to go back to Manaqib al Abi Talib by Ibn Shahr Ashub, he mentions 50 shurut of the Imam, 50 conditions of the Imam, and they all have to apply in each Imam, right? And pretty much, none of those apply to the Mahdi.
We like at the time they were in, it was pretty like oppressive because we had the was trying to. Sorry,
You cut off.
were you saying something?
Yeah, no, you cut off.
Like the Caliph at the time, he was trying to. Yeah, the Caliph at the time of Al-Askari, he was trying to unalive Al-Askari. Like he wanted to cut off his successorship. We have a hadith about this. I'm not sure if you've seen it. So you'd probably say that's why like we had all these ahadith about saying, do not utter the name of the 12th Imam, etc. Because it was at a time of taqiyya, we'd say. So that could be like a point.
Yeah, but look, the thing is, even if we're to say that this was not widespread, I'm saying like close companions of the Imam, at least they should know, even if there were times of taqiyya, because if you're gonna apply this rule of they were under oppression and they were trying to be unalived, etc. This could be applied for every single Imam after Al-Hasan. Like, it's not really a good argument. And a clear example of that is Musa al-Kadhim, right? Musa al-Kadhim, he was in clear oppression, very similar to the case of Al-Askari. And even then, his imama was also spread out from the Khawas of the Shias.
Yeah, you responded good, to be honest.
Also,
like we could see it. Yeah.
I just want to mention something because I looked at the narration that you sent me in Kamal ad-Din. So there's 2 points to be made. Dawood ibn Hussein, I'm sure you know he's a Waqifi. And obviously, like,
we accept Waqifi.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, he's a Waqifi and he doesn't believe in this Imam, right? But other than that, Al-Khoi makes it clear. He says that the way of Saduq to Dawood ibn Hussein is weak. He says طريق الصدوق إليه ضعيف. So, I mean, this is the saying of Saduq or of Al-Khoi. But either way, like it still doesn't matter because this narration still doesn't really prove anything.
I'd just like use it to prove his like, because sometimes people ask, how do you know his name if there was a prohibition of uttering his name?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Why not? But I'm saying like, even though Khoi would weaken this chain before Dawood ibn Hussein, but even then, even if you were to say that his name is Muhammad and he was the son of Al-Askari, okay, there's a view of Ahl Sunnah that he did have a son that was Muhammad and that he died when he was very young. So that still doesn't nullify the stance of those scholars, right? Even though I don't take that opinion.
I think another argument could be when, what's it called? We have a lot of ahadith in Kifayat al-Athar. It says like there will be like 9 from Wild al-Hussein and the last one will be the Qa'im, like speaking about 12 Imams. So could that be a nas for the 12th Imam? That he will be the Qa'im?
Wait, repeat that again?
You know, like the ahadith we have in Kifayat al-Athar, for example, it's like there will be 9 from Wild Hussein and the last one will be the Qa'im. Could this be a proof? Yeah.
No, it won't, because look, you also have similar narrations to this, and it's also not talking about the Mahdi, and they also call him the Qa'im. So, for example, you have the narration in Tafsir Ayashi from Al-Fadl Muhammad al-Jarafi. It says, قال سألت أبي عبد الله عليه السلام عن قول الله كمثل حبة أنبتت سبع سنابل. It says قال الحبة فاطمة صلوات الله عليها والسبع السنابل 7 من ولدها سابعهم قائمهم. Okay, so he says that there will be so he's talking about the ayah كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل. He says this seed that produced 7 of its progeny was Fatima, right? And that she produced 7 sanabil, meaning 7 imams from the progeny of Fatima, and the 7th of them is their Qa'im. So this would mean what? This would mean that Musa al-Kadhim is the Qa'im. See? So
Yeah.
this doesn't necessarily necessitate with regards to the Mahdi being the Qa'im. And also another similar narration in Ajal Kishi. He narrates from أبي الحسن الرضا. He says, جعلت فداك إنه والله ما يلج في صدري من أمرك شيء إلا حدثنا سمعته من ضريح يرويه عن أبي جعفر قال لي وما هو؟ قال سمعته يقول سابعنا قائمنا إن شاء الله. So he says that the seventh of us, meaning the seventh of us Imams, is our Qa'im. So this would mean that Musa al-Kalim is the Mahdi. But this is
Are
not
these the narrations mentioned in Al-Tusi's Kitab Ghaibah? I didn't hear at this time. Because like he... Pardon?
is from al-Ashri, and the other one is from Rajal al-Kashi.
Because I know Al-Tusi has similar narrations of this in his book.
Yeah. And also there's another one in Rasul Sittas Ashar. So this is a narration from Ja'far from Darih. He says, فقال لي إنما ذكرت هذا لتكون من شهداء الله في الأرض إن منا بعد الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم 7 أوصياء أئمة مفترض الطاعة سابعهم القائم. So he says, after the Prophet, there's 7 Imams. Right after the Prophet, there's 7 Imams who are wajib to follow and wajib to obey. And the 7th of them is the Qa'im. So again, this would mean that Musa al-Kalim is the Mahdi.
I think like this is the last thing I could think of, but we believe like there's a necessity for an Imam to be present. So, and after Al-Hussein, we believe Imamah was only through like sons, right?
Yeah.
So Al-Askari, his only son was Imam Muhammad. So,
Okay, but this is a problem because you're going based off like a preconceived notion, which is that it's a necessity according to my religion. That it's basically like circular reasoning. It's like you say it's wajib for an imam to be there every time, and therefore that proves the imam of the Mahdi. Firstly, that's not an appointment. That's not a clear appointment. Which besides that, we can't have this conceived notion of, oh, there's an imam in every time, because again, where did this come from? This came from who? The imams, right? Who you say are infallible, and you take their words over anyone's, right? Yet, if we were to disprove the imam of the Mahdi, this would necessitate the imam of all the imams behind him also is disproven, correct?
no.
Why not?
If you
Because
disprove the
can't be
12th, you don't
believing in 11
disprove the
imams.
first. Sorry?
But you can't be a Shi'i or even though you like you can't be a Shi'i believing in 11 imams. If one of these imams, whether it's from the beginning or the middle or the end, his imam is disproven, therefore all the imam of the imams are disproven.
Not really, because you can become like a Zaydi and Ismaili. You can become a Waqifi.
No, I'm saying like Ithna Ashari, you cannot. The
Oh
Ithna
yeah, you
Ashari
can be a 12.
would be
Yeah. Yeah,
So
100%.
Ithna Ashariya would be destroyed if the Mahdi is not proven to be an imam, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, you can't take the other words of the imams as hujjah if you're an Ithna Ashari, because according to you then, all these imams, their imam would be nullified. And then you have to go to either being a Zaydi or a Waqifi or all these other sects who have different books. So they won't necessarily take those books of the Ithna Ashari as authority. That's one point. And also another thing is that the point about there being an imam every time, firstly, the narrations, they would mention that there is a hujjah every time. And your scholars actually said that the imam, the Mahdi, he's not actually the hujjah of the time. He's not the imam of the time. Rather, the imams of the time in our time is the scholars. And one of those people is al-Naraqi. He says that essentially the hujjah, we cannot say that the hujjah or the imam over us is the Mahdi. Rather, the only person who is a hujjah upon us is the faqih, is the person, the scholar.
I mean, like, you answered me on everything last.
Yeah, inshallah, ya akhi, I mean, it's a
I'll read mine.
ponder upon. Yeah. Inshallah, if you get any answers, just let me know. But yeah, may Allah guide us, inshallah.
Yeah. Like, I have like a random question about Sunni Islam.
Go ahead.
How do you like explain Hadith Thaqalain? And then like the part where they will not separate.
Yeah.
Would that be like an argument?
Okay. So, firstly, Hadith al-Thaqalain, there's two views. So, firstly, the narration that says Kitab Allah wa Itarati, the famous narration of At-Tirmidhi, etc. These narrations, a huge group of Ahl Sunnah weaken, like Ahmad ibn Hanbal and others. They weaken the narration of Kitab Allah wa Itarati, right? This narration is weak from all its ways, but the scholars who did try to authenticate this narration, authenticated it based off grouping these narrations and saying because of the difference, there is not severe weaknesses in the chain, therefore we come out with the conclusion that it's Hasan, right? But what's it called? I take the position of Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who weakens these narrations. Okay. Now, the correct saying of Hadith al-Thaqalain is the one in Sahih Muslim, which is أذكركم الله في أهل بيتي أذكركم الله في أهل بيتي أذكركم الله في أهل بيتي. And this narration, nowhere in no way, shape, or form tells us to follow the Ahlul Bayt. So, for example, you have. Let me pull it up for you 1 second. So, Adil al-Hamdan, in his commentary on Kitab al-Sharia by al-Ajurri, he says, والحديث الذي في مسلم إذا كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قد قاله فليس فيه إلا الوصية باتباع كتاب الله. There is no covenant for the people in this hadith except to follow the book of Allah. وهذا أمر قد تقدمت الوصية به في حجة الوداع قبل ذلك. And this is something that the Prophet already commanded to follow in the farewell pilgrimage. And he says, وهو لم يأمر باتباع العترة. He didn't command us to follow the عترة. ولكن قال أذكركم الله في أهل بيتي. Rather he said, I remind you by Allah with regards to my أهل البيت. وتذكير الأمة بهم يقتضي أن يذكروا ما تقدم الأمر به قبل ذلك من إعطائهم حقوقهم والامتناع عن ظلمهم وهذا أمر قد تقدم بيانه قبل غدير خم فعلم أنه لم يكن في غدير خم من أمر يشرع نزل إذ ذاك لا في حق علي ولا في غيره لا إمامته ولا غيرها. So he says that essentially what the Prophet told us to do is what the Prophet told us to do is to take care of their duties and not to oppress the Ahlul Bayt, not to follow them necessarily. So this is the narration in Muslim, and even if the narration in Tirmidhi were to be authentic, the scholars already explained this as well, and they also mention that this shows the hujjah. So there's basically two sayings. Firstly,
wait, sorry, Marv, can you just send me the sources after my? It's not processing that one.
Yeah, I got you. So, let me paste this. Okay, so this is the one that I just read. Okay, so that's Adil al-Hamdan explaining the Hadith of Muslim. Also, the second thing is with regards to the Hadith and At-Tirmidhi, the scholars explain this, and they said even if this narration were to be authentic, there's two views. Firstly, the view of the Hanabila with regards to this Hadith is that they say that this proves that the ijma' of the Ahlul Bayt is hujjah. So if the Ahlul Bayt agree on a certain matter or a certain mas'ala, then that ijma' is it cannot be wrong, right?
Yeah.
And the other group said that this hadith, which is in At-Tirmidhi, in no way, shape, or form tells us to follow the words of the Ahlul Bayt. However, this simply commands us to love them and support them, right? So these are the two views, even if the hadith were to be authentic. And now,
do you know? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
Do you know about like the one I am leaving among you two, like caliphs or something? Like I've seen some people mention that one.
Yeah, that one is very weak. So firstly, you have Qasim al-Hassan, who's majhul. He's an anonymous narrator. And you have Sharik ibn Abdullah, who's a weak narrator. So, like, that narration is weak.
Sorry, Akhi Ibn Awais, just with regards to even with that narration, even though it's weak, right? Would you
Yeah.
consider Fatima radiallahu anha to be from the Ahlul Bayt and
Yeah,
mentioned in this? So is Fatima a Khalifa?
yeah.
Huh?
We have a hadith talking about, like, some believe she's an imam.
Fatima
No,
is an Imam.
Some believe, yeah. Not like one of the 12 imams, but they believe she's
That's
a
crazy.
muhaddith. Yeah. She's a muhaddith in our books. Like
So Salman al-Farisi.
sorry.
Yeah, even Salman al-Farisi in your books is
Yeah.
a muhaddith,
Yeah.
but he's
So
not.
sorry?
Sorry.
Go
Salman
ahead.
al-Farisi is muhaddith in your books as well. So
Yeah.
does that necessitate him being an imam?
No, being a muhaddith doesn't mean you're an imam, but like some people, there's a few ahadith on Fatima al asas she's being an imam. I haven't looked
You know,
into
this
it
is
though.
very problematic, Brother Vara, because if you have Ali and Fatima both being imams in the same
Yeah, then
house,
that's
and
$13.
and there's
Yeah.
ikhtilafat between them. Do you know that?
Some,
Those,
yeah. Sorry, bro. Some say she is, some don't. I've seen like a few hadiths on it, but I forgot.
Okay, I've seen a lot of people say a lot of stuff, man. They said Ammar bin Yasir is an imam. They said Salman al-Farisi is an imam. Like, it's like, bro. But
That's what I'm saying. A
anyways,
lot of inconsistencies within this belief, akhi.
it's very weird. Like, no one's gonna come and tell you, like Yazid is from the Khulafa al-Rashidin. Like, come on, bro. But what's it called? I want to get to the point where you said about إنهم لن يفترقا حتى يرد على الحوض, which is a very, very intricate point, which a lot of people don't pay attention to. And a lot of people don't know about this argument. So, if you could just pull up the wording of the hadith that you were talking about, or you don't have it on hand.
No, I don't know the reference. Can you tell me?
Let me see if I have it. 1 second. Okay, yeah. So it says, wait, let me just open it so I can show it. Okay. So, this is Kitab al-Sunnah by Ibn Abi Asim. So, he mentions this narration, right? And this is the one that you're talking about. He says, وَإِنَّهُمَا لَنْ يَتَفَرَّقَا. So I want you to pay attention to the word that's used, right? It says يَتَفَرَّقَا. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, there's a big problem here. Why? Because there's a difference between لن يتفرقا and لن يفترقا. Okay, so let me show you something. So this is where is it? Okay, so this is غريب الحديث مع الخطابي, right? He says قال أبو عمر سأل أبو موسى أبا العباس هل بين يفترقان ويتفرقان خلاف? So is there a difference between يتفرقان and يفترقان? قال نعم. He said yes. أخبرنا ابن الأعرابي عن المفضل قال this is الثعلبي. Says قال يقال افترقا بالكلام وتفرقا بالأجسام. So when it is said افترقا, that means that they won't split in terms of their opinions and in terms of their sayings. وتفرقا بالأجسام. However, when it's said تفرق and not افتراق, that means that they won't split in terms of their essence, in terms of their body, right? Now, if you go back to the narration, what did it say? It says لن يتفرقا. So the word يتفرقا here would refer to what? يتفرقا would refer to بالكلام. Okay, so that they won't split in terms of their sayings. And tafarruq, which is in this narration, is bil ajsam, meaning that they won't split in terms of their bodies, which there's no fadila in this. There's no there's no virtue in this, because if something won't split from the other thing in terms of its essence, like for example, I'm holding on to the book, it's a book, and I won't ever leave it until I die, right? There's no virtue in this. But if I'm going by what this book said, if it's for example the Quran, if I'm holding it just physically and I die with it, there's no virtue in this. However, if I'm holding it and I'm going by its saying, there's a virtue in that, right? So there's an intricate difference in the wording, which shows that even if this is the case, this is completely false, because we already say that the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt physically split from each other because they died, right? So yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if
on
you
that
point. Yeah.
No, I understand it, but we believe like the Quran, like let's say Mus'haf Fatima, it's always like passed down through the Imams.
Yeah, I know. Okay, but the thing is, this is talking about the Quran, right? Or even let's say Mus'haf Fatima. Is Mus'haf Fatima physically with every Imam right now?
It's passed down.
Okay,
So
it's passed on. I'm saying the Ahlul Bayt, right? All of them, all 12. Do they have Mus'haf Fatima with them physically?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Like my thought is no, but there might be a hadith saying different.
Wait, what?
Like
No.
in my brain.
Yeah.
Sorry. In my brain, the
I don't
answer.
even know it.
Because Mus'haf Fatima, like they're not making copies, okay? Like they're not printing it out. Like it's one book.
Yeah, we would pass it
It's
down.
didn't they say it's in the Vatican?
Yeah, it's like, bro, how's it gonna be like with every single Imam at the same time? It's only one book.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like there's a difference between the wordings. It's very important because it could affect the whole meaning of the narration. But even then, I think this narration is weakened. So yeah. So this guy, he asked, what's the peace terms between Al-Hasan and Muawiyah? The peace terms.
1 second. Let me see. Request Islamic org. Request. Yeah, go ahead, Akhi.
Yeah. The peace terms between Al-Hasan and Muawiyah. Al-Hasan gave a term to Muawiyah that he follows the sunnah of the Khulafa al-Rashidin. So yeah.
نحن هنا لا
السلام عليكم أخوة.
عليكم السلام.
Viral posted, are you the Qasim that was in the group chat with me and Farid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, damn.
Yeah, you guys got a group chat with Farid?
Oh, you're Abu Sadiq.
Yeah.
Inshallah. So Qasim, are you like the Ahl Sunnah is you becoming compelled with Ahl Sunnah? The position of Ahl Sunnah.
I don't look into like Sunni Islam. I study my own religion first.
Okay. Do you feel like you're... Yeah. Go ahead, Akhi.
I don't know, like I spoke to someone and he changed my mindset. Like I don't want to look at what certain Sunni individuals did to prove my religion. It's like...
What do you mean?
Okay, so if we prove like if Aisha, she was wrong in Jamal and this, it won't like prove my religion.
Exactly.
That's why I don't really like to study it. So
all right,
I don't really know about Sunni Islam.
So what about your religion? Do you find that there is contradictions and things that just don't make sense?
I'd say there's stuff that I don't understand because I haven't read that much.
Okay, so look, if you find, now you're saying that you haven't read much, but when you do read much and you will find contradictions, are you willing to say that there is contradictions, or are you going to keep giving with all due respect, and I say this with all respect, but Are you going to still have that delusional mindset in saying that, you know what, there is an answer here, but I just haven't seen it. There is an answer here, and you're going to keep giving yourself that excuse. Yeah, there's an answer, but it's out there somewhere. When you're shown clear contradictions, that there is no isma, infallibility for the imams. There is no tansib ilahi. There is no divine appointment. You can't prove to me the imama of Ali up to the Mahdi. If I tell you now, can you prove me the imam of Hassan al-Askari? You wouldn't. Can you prove the imam of al-Jawad or Musa al-Kadhim? You couldn't, right?
We can prove
So
al-Jawad. I think we can. Because
you
like
can
there's a
prove al-Jawad's
narration.
imam?
Yeah, there's a narration from Al-Rida which says he's the Khalifa and Imam after me. It's in Kitab al-Shad.
But that narration is played around with.
What?
That narration is played around with. Like there's no tahrif to it.
Is there manuscript evidence?
I'm not sure. I mean, you have to bring that, to be honest with you.
Vira posted,
Yeah,
you like to prove a person's imama, like it cannot be from a person that doesn't have a hujjah upon the people. You would first have to prove the person that has the hujjah's imama.
Yeah, but we would just say that. Yeah, we would believe we're the ones who narrated a hadith from them. Because like, it's like trying to prove the imam of some, like say Mirza Ghulam Ahmed. It's like Ahmadi trying to prove his imam from Sunni books.
Yeah, but okay, let's say I'm an imam and I'm gonna tell you that my father is also an imam and he appointed me. You wouldn't believe in it. I would have to bring you the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to prove to you that I'm an imam.
You'd have to bring the evidence that you're an imam, and like there's different
by
ways
the prophets.
Yeah, but there's
other
ways. Like if you were appointed by the previous one. Go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, but if there's no, for example, if there's no proof for the imama of one of the imams, would you consider this person to be divinely appointed?
If there's no proof for his imam, then I wouldn't believe in his imam.
أو الحسن العسكري in مرآة العقول باب تنصيب أو نص على إمامة الحسن العسكري, not one narration is صحيح.
I don't know. I've only looked into like the 12th imam. That's why I can't build off. Like before the conversation we were having, I was able to build off of it. But like the other imams, I'm not that learned.
Go ahead, Akhi Ibn Wais.
I hope inshallah, you look into it. But yeah, just to respond to that guy in the comments, because he asked me to show where Al-Hassan gave a condition to Muawiyah about following the Sunnah of the Khulafa al-Rashidin. So this is the book Makatib al-A'imma. So he says over here, الفصل الثالث مكاتبته عليه السلام من الصلح حتى استشهاد كتابته إلى معاوية في الصلح وشروطه. So he's going to tell him the conditions of this sulh, of this treaty. He says, أولا أن يسلم إليه ولاية أمر المسلمين على أن يعمل فيهم بكتاب الله تعالى وسنة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسيرة الخلفاء الراشدين, and the way of the Khulafa al-Rashidin, the methodology of the Khulafa al-Rashidin. Told them, follow the Kitab, Sunnah, and the Sunnah of the Khulafa al-Rashidin. And before you try to cope and say Khulafa al-Rashidin are other than Abu Bakr, Umar, and Uthman, and Ali, this is the book Al-Imam Hussein fi Muwajahat al-Inshiqaq al-Amawi by Sayyid Sami Badri. He says, المراد بسيرة الخلفاء الصالحين هم الثلاثة الأول, meaning the first three خلفاء, meaning Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, Viro, do you have any more questions? Because it's like 3 a.m.
Like last one about the treaty. Is there like on the terms that the Khilafah would be given to Hussein? Is that true?
No. In our books, it's not. I don't know about your books if you have an authentic narration for it, but in our books, no. All the narrations that mention this are weak.
All right.
Yeah.
Good discussion.
May Allah guide you, inshallah, and lead us all to the right path. They left,
Allahumma amin.
inshallah. I have to head out. Barakallahu feekum.
Yeah, I'm
Assalamu
gonna drop to Ikhwan. May Allah reward you all.
Ameen, ameen. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hayakallah habibi. Anyway, inshallah, before the brothers close the live, make sure to join again tomorrow. We'll have a live. So don't miss it, inshallah. Yes. And regarding the lives, inshallah, if you have missed anything, all of those live will be posted on YouTube channel. If you want to have YouTube channel, you go to the S2K bio, you have linked there, and then you can watch it. So barakallahu feekum. This is what's for today, and we'll see tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Take care, everyone.